And we are live here on Plus One EXP's actual play channel. My name is Tony Vicinda. You can find me at Tony Vicinda across pretty much any social media platform, but you can find us at Plus One EXP across most of those same social media platforms. We're a weird little brand that likes to multi-class in tabletop game design, beard and skincare alchemy, and the Bardic College of Content Creation. And tonight, we are here as part of our opening night stream for Troika Fest. And now we're all going to pretend to be really excited. Yay! Yay! Oh, we did so much better than on stream this afternoon. Tonight we are going to be playing Academies of the Arcane, which is the newest supplement for Troika, and you can find out more about that by typing in !KS. If you want to find out more about the system we're playing, go check it out on Kickstarter. It is funded and funded well, but go support it, go check it out. I am 100% House Dreamcleaver. If you go check it out also too. I took the survey earlier today, and that's absolutely the house that I belong in, with no information other than the names of them and their logos. But you can go check out all that over there. It may or may not be a commentary on a wizarding school. It may or may not be commentary on the horrors of academia, specifically within law school. It may or may not be a lot of things, but it is going to be a lot of fun. But you didn't come here to hear me talk. You came here to watch us play some games with some absolutely amazing people. We're going to whip around, maybe not in the order that you see us on screen, but in the order that I see people on screen. We're going to start with Raph, who it's their first time on stream. Raph, go ahead and tell people who you are, what you do, and where they can find you online.
Hey, thanks, Tony. And hey, everyone. I'm Raph. I'm a designer and game designer. I'm in San Francisco. Currently designing a game called The Zone, and you can find me on Twitter and all the other things at Raph D'Amico.
Awesome. And the zone is the digital version of the zone. It's coming up soon on the 17th, right? We're going to have you back on to run the game on the 16th, right? Is that correct? Awesome.
That's right. Super excited about it.
Looking forward to it. We're going to drop down right below Raph to Aaron King. Aaron, go ahead and tell people who you are, what you do, and where they can find you online if you want to be found.
Sure. I'm Aaron King, at Aaron MF King on Twitter. I live in Minneapolis, where I write games and make zines. I've done a couple Troika zines, if you're interested. The first issue is on sale through Exalted Funeral and Spearwitch. The second issue just came out. Right now I'm selling it for a deep, deep discount. I think we're going to talk about that soon, maybe?
Go ahead and talk about it right now. I've got them right now.
It has pogs. Yeah, I have some as well. So it's one of the many... I
thought for a second Rachel was going to reach off screen and grab some of those pogs also too. I was going to be very impressed. Yeah, so Troika Pogs, which we're going to be giving away a copy of this as well as one of the core books or offerings from of Troika tonight also. So we've got 2 giveaways on stream tonight in honor of Aaron being here with us. And so all week long as part of Troika Fest, if it's an evening stream where we're playing a game, not necessarily for the interviews or community conversations, the likelihood we're going to have a giveaway when we go live is high. So if you haven't hit follow yet, please do. But Aaron, I'm super excited to have you back. Aaron came on and ran I can't even say it. Patchwork World in the Icy City with us a little while ago, and had an absolute blast, and can't wait to get that game in my hands also too. Let's kick over to Rachel. Rachel, tell people who you are, what you do, and where people can find you if you want to be found.
Hi, I'm Rachel. You can find me on Twitter at rawmagicrachel. When I'm not writing a dissertation, I write homebrew content, mostly for 5e, and I just enjoy being in the community over on Twitter. So I'd love to interact with you guys there.
Awesome. And then last but certainly not least, we have our GM tonight, one of the co-founders of the Moonrat Conspiracy, and the person who had to am I not allowed to talk about that? Person who's read more Troika than anybody else alive, potentially. And that's Jarrett Crader.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jarrett, and as you can tell, I'm nervous AF. So just gonna lean into that to help out. I went ahead and had a couple of cups of coffee right before, and I also had my first dose of vaccine today, so a little lethargic. So we'll see what rises to the top.
Maybe it'll balance out.
That's right. And if you are out there watching live right now, I'm going to go ahead and open up that giveaway. In order to enter the giveaway, you do need to be watching us on Twitch, because so far that's the easiest way to do it. So if you're watching on a different platform, YouTube or Facebook, feel free to hop over, or feel free to stay where you're at and not get entered in a chance to win. But you're going to type in ! capital U, capital R, capital A, wizard. You are a wizard. Go ahead and type that into the chat after an ! To enter for your chance to win either one of the Troika core books or a copy of Troika Pogs from Arcane. It looks like it's working. Gerg Dentley and Comradely both have entered, and anybody else who wants to enter can. I will say for Riley, you're welcome to enter again, but if you want to sit on your hands so that somebody else gets a chance to win this time around, since you won earlier today, you could, but you don't have to. There's no rules preventing you. I'm just saying you could. But with that said, we do play with a set of safety tools and normal toolkits here on the stream. We think it's important that people play with good play toolkits, whether those are just safety tools or whether those are other tools that enhance play. Jared did a great job of setting those up beforehand, but just as always, we have a strong line against sexual assault on the channel, and everything else we have a conversation about. Normally we use lines, veils, and X-Card. We've arranged some of those in advance, but Jarrett, can you give people are there any sort of caution warnings or other things that people should know about in advance before we hop in? Any major tooth injuries, spiders going to be crawling out of people's faces, anything else like that?
Honestly, no. There'll be some smell stuff. There'll be some Aaron's like, there will be some. I'm a big fan of using smell. It's one of the few things that in tabletop, like, I don't run into a lot of people using in writing and in design. Other than that, we went through our list, and nope, it's going to be fairly lighthearted and whimsical. A little bit gross, but I mean, no grosser than I don't want to say what it's going to be. But
That's fine. That's perfect. If anybody has any questions, they can do it, and then also everybody can use the X card if they ever feel uncomfortable with something. Just say X, type it in the chat, whatever you need to do, and then we'll pause. We'll figure out what the issue is. We'll move forward in a different direction. There's no need to explain it or defend it. We just need to help identify what it is if it's not clear, so that we can figure out how to navigate around it and move past. So with that said, I'm going to hand things over to Jarrett to just take us into the Academies of the Arcane.
I make noises too. I make sounds.
I should clarify that. If anybody out there, like, all of our games are learning games. If you're watching right now and you have a question about how things work in the chat, absolutely, you should feel free to ask. Also, players, please feel free to ask if you have questions. 3 of us, it's our first time playing tonight, and so this is actually, like, I organized an entire festival around Troika just so I would have an excuse to play. That's how committed I am. And so if you have questions, let us know.
That's the way to do it, though.
Right.
That's the way to do it. Everybody in the world, I want to play this game. We're going to play this game. Okay. So, Academies of the Arcane. Can I spiel about it for just a second?
Spiel away, for sure.
Cool. So Academies of the Arcane is a fancy new book for the Troika role-playing game. Went live on Kickstarter today. There we go. There's Troika. And it is a set of character backgrounds. For those of you not familiar with Troika, character backgrounds are how we get you into playing super fast. You roll a D66. So you roll a 6-sided die and another 6-sided die. You don't add them together. You take, like, if I rolled a 6 on this one, that's a 6 and a 5. So that would be 65, right? And then I look real quick on 65, and it's going to give me a 2 or 3 sentence description of what the character is, the background, a little bit of flavor or a lot of flavor, depending on how deep you want to look into those few lines. Some possessions, some advanced skills, and then occasionally a special. Everyone has also a knife and some silver pins, and don't tell everybody, but I'm supposed to know this off the top of my head.
A lantern, flask of oil, and a russet.
See? Boom. So anyway, it's super quick. You can get right in. You can get right into it. You can have a character in literally just a couple of minutes. Players, did you get a chance to roll up your skill and your stamina and your luck?
Mhm.
Everybody has that.
I
And
did.
I'm using Aaron King's character sheet that
Cool.
that's you can go download on itch somewhere, and so
Cool. And so yeah, so our main three stats, our skill, which is going to be a D6, and we were going to apply our advanced skills. So say you want to do something like if we were playing Space Troika and you were like, I want to hack the airlock, you would add your I want to hack the airlock skill plus your advanced skill plus your base skill, and then you would roll 2d6 trying to roll under that. So it's a little difficult, not utterly impossible. I'm also the sort of GM who likes to go back and forth, and if you come up with a really, really crazy reason to just it totally makes sense, you're gonna go ahead and roll that. The outcome of these two little things is the best part. And then you have your stamina. Everybody, similar to hit points, health points. And then we have luck. Luck is used to press the situation in certain circumstances, used as saves. Everything is just pretty much kind of situational. Super nice, mellow, free form, and 100% original. Don't let anybody tell you differently.
Yeah.
Right?
No connection to any other IPs or systems ever in the history.
Never. Nope. Whole cloth. So that's Troika in a nutshell. Troika, Academies of the Arcane, is our upcoming publication, and this is my editor's scratch notes copy. This is one of the illos that's going to be inside, done by the fantastic Jacori Holder. Book is written by Brian Yaksha, and it's a set of backgrounds and spells and generators for wizard school. Tables for the exterior of the building, the interior of the building, house crests, school uniforms. What else do we have in there? We have classes, we have faculty, we have errantries, we have competitions. It's going to be a nice, big, fat, thick. We're shooting for, I think, 200 plus pages.
Awesome.
And we're working in a little different format than we normally do. We normally do A5. Yeah, I have stickers on the front of mine. Shout out to my buddy Abe. He's probably watching. So instead of shooting A5, we're going in a quarto size. So I can't describe it.
It's bigger.
It's a little bit bigger. It's bigger, yeah. And Troika itself is a nice thick 112. Yeah, 112. So we're shooting like it's gonna be. This
is the biggest Troika book so far.
Yes.
Awesome.
Super excited for it. So feel enough about the product. Welcome.
Oh, Jeremy Childry is watching right now. Jeremy, you might enjoy some of the stuff we're doing tonight.
It's a surprise. So I have used the tables in Academies of the Arcane to generate the following information. You are students at the Red Letter Institution of the Four Humors, which is a gigantic ivory castle pulled very, 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 very slowly on top of this giant war chariot across this massive, massive, massive lake. How big? Really big. Lake by a gigantic winged Nephilim. So it's huge, and it never speaks. It never talks to anybody ever. But it just slowly wades through this gigantic lake, pulling this gigantic chariot around in circles. And you all happen to go to school here. So now I'm going to shut up for a second and let you all introduce your characters.
Aaron, why don't you hit us first?
Sure. My background is Fiddler in the Dark. My character's name is Olive. Are we doing school uniforms?
I had rolled up school uniforms, but I am down with if everyone wants to hit me with some dice rolls, and we can totally, if everyone wants like different uniforms, I'm cool with that too.
Like
No, I'm happy with
house uniforms.
So I went with normal school uniforms. Brian sent me an awesome. Where is it at? Wow. There was a word that I didn't know. I mean, it happens a lot. I did not know what a convoy was. Convoy is a Sri Lankan style wrapped skirt. So
everyone's look on everyone's faces. You said that below just the synonymous reality of what that could have meant in other ways is where everybody else went in their brain, and then you were talking about something else entirely. You keep on going. We'll chastise ourselves internally.
No, it's so, yeah, I didn't know what it was. I was like, Brian, what is this? And they totally told me. There are these like wrapped skirts that they go kind of a little bit up on your belly a little bit. And so that's kind of like the base, and then just kind of a loose buttoned up shirt, blousey type situation, loose. And there's not like a color scheme. It's not like everyone has to wear like, black skirt and white top and whatnot. What else do we have with that? Oh, and everyone wears these really cool long pointed toed boots.
Made of the finest leather.
That's right. So I love random tables. So that's what we have for, at least as far as my input for uniforms.
Love it. Yeah, I think Olive wears a school uniform. As a fiddler, I can fiddle with the undead, or for the undead, or they kind of pay attention when I fiddle. I think Olive is the child of like some famous explorers. One of my possessions is also a lesser spirit who likes my fiddle playing. So I think maybe that's Olive's dad, and it's like the ghost version of the "Are you winning, son?" meme. My ghost dad just follows me around to make sure I'm doing okay at school. That's it. That's Olive.
Awesome. Raph, why don't you go next?
Yeah. So I am a Thwack Stacklepack, the onomatopoeian, who has this ability to harness illusion, and I have this in my possession. I have this wooden cane that makes me even better at one of my core skills, which is just essentially throwing my voice, but in a much more sophisticated way than you might expect, to make it seem like sounds are coming from not where they're supposed to be, to put literally words in people's mouths, and to make it so that an area of sound just disappears magically. And I have this wooden cane that makes me even better at making a knock-knock sound appear from anywhere. Although I have not furiously Googled enough knock-knock jokes to really make the most of this character.
It's not too late.
I know, right? Just doing it right now. I have fine clothing, which I suppose is just the same uniform, but let's just say that it's just been ornamented. I'm going to use my own definition of fine clothing, which I've just ornamented it with found objects. And like a magpie.
And I just want to double check. It is Thwack Thacklepack?
It's a Thwack Stacklepack. That's right.
Thwack Stacklepack. Okay. Yeah.
Thwack Stacklepack.
So how do you spell that first name?
Thwack, like Thwack. Just like it sounds like. It's not my real name, but it's with illusion, does it really matter? What is real
True.
anyway?
What is real? That's awesome.
Yeah, that's me.
Rachel, go ahead and introduce us to your character.
Can I also just first ask what the pronouns are for Olive and Thwack?
They, them.
And I kind of want Thwackstackle Pack to also be they, them.
So, okay, both they, them.
Awesome.
Sorry, I'm writing that down.
Yeah.
I am playing Penelope Stillwell. Penelope has called let me look it up really fast so I don't say it wrong. The Rusted Hands of Fateful Chains. She also has rather famous parents, but more infamous. I'm imagining that her parents were really famous bad guys that heroes long ago like brought down, but they had a child and somebody adopted her. And now she just has like lots of this energy and power from having really evil parents. But she wears these like chain bracelets with lots of little dangly charms on them, like charm bracelets that are sort of meant to like contain her power. But sometimes they don't work so well. She's a little bit more of a bruiser, not so great at the magic part of the magic school.
Awesome. It is what is
she, her.
Penelope, she, her. All right.
Yes.
There we go. And all right, let me swing down to mine real quick. Sorry. I was born to be an exorcist and to deny the subtle gifts which would make this easy. The gods find me a worthy curiosity, pitiable attention. Anytime I proclaim my heritage, I can destroy a little bit of my ego and invoke my bloodline, which is spent in service of wisdom since the dawn of creation. I'm a child of Adapa, and my name is Tom Adapa. Tom has he, him pronouns. Tom also is on top of the normal uniform, has a very oily, like, it's not a full all, but it's kind of like a vest. So there's no sleeves, but it kind of hangs over, kind of like a nurse or a doctor's cloak from kind of a more antiquated time, but it's always oily and it smells very fragrant. And he has blessed oils in one pocket and a Tupperware container in the other pocket that just says "Do not open" on it. And so that's what Tom has in addition to all the other normal stuff that we start out with. And that's Tom Adapa.
Perfect. So, here at the Red Letter Institution of the Four Humors, it is last day of school, 2020. I know it was on the list, but I'm using that. I was on our lines of bills, but I'm using that one because it is the last day of school. It is summer is in the air, and the really cool thing about the lake that is that the Nephilim is running the school and the chariot around is there are these fields of beautiful flowers. So like take every single Monet and every single Van Gogh and every single Renoir and Latour and Rauch, like just take it all. And that's what those fields look like. There are even classes outside, and I am going to take this chance to show some really pretty art.
Oh, hold on. That is fine. Let me create a new scene real quick where that really pretty art will not be split into 5 weird things.
I got you. I'm sorry, I should have planned it.
No, you are totally fine. It takes but a second.
Cool.
Window capture. One of these is correct.
You say when, and I'll hit the present now button.
There we go. All right, go ahead.
Did that do it?
It will in a second. There we go. Yep.
Okay. Cool. So sometimes you can have outdoor classes like this, and today is one of those days. Now, to montage, because I'll spiel for a second. It is last day of classes, and going down the hall, there's like the kid that like jumps up and rips down the banner, and everyone's like shutting lockers and stuff like that, and bells are ringing and blah blah blah. Y'all have, obviously, as seniors, you don't have to attend most of the classes. You do have one, so you're all in your dorm rooms, and you're getting ready to head out. And you're all going to your very last class outside. Narrate with me, spiel back and forth. What happens as you're heading out of the hallways? Now, massively, like vast ceilings. Like sometimes in some hallways you look up and it just looks like the infinite blackness of the void up there. Like, I mean, it's a magical school, right? It's not just like a basilica or something like that. So yeah, take some time. Tell me, do you know each other? What do you plan? What's going on this last day of school?
I like the idea that we know each other. I have a pitch, but if everybody's not feeling it, that's cool. I love the idea that we are seniors in not like an American college system, but definitely in the young adult range, maybe like 20-ish, but kind of this is the end of finishing school. But I also love the idea that there's like hundreds of people who start and a much smaller percentage of the class that finishes, and it's a mix of washouts and horrible deaths that happen along the way. But like everybody knows this going in. Like there's nothing malicious about this. It's just kind of the expectation. But if that's too dark or too heavy for anybody, that's okay. So I love that we're like one of a small group of remaining seniors on our last year.
I thought you were going to say we were the only last four.
I'm open to that.
It's a really small private school.
Or just a very lethal one, magically lethal.
That's right. Well, some of them are just in alternate dimensions. Some of them failed out. Like, some of them just decided, hey, I don't want to die. I'm going to become a cobbler because that's okay. Like, and I like that kind of feel, like it's normal. But yeah, we've seen a lot.
My adopted parents have been trying to get me to drop out for years, and they want me to work in finance, but I just won't. I'm going to prove them wrong.
Are we in a club or something?
If it's only the four of us, I love the idea that we're in a club, but it's just literally like it used to have a name and it used to be part of some combined interest, but now it's just like the Survivors Club. and one of us super isn't into whatever the thing that the club was formed around is, and I'm open to what that is.
There used to be many more clubs, but as their membership dwindled, they just had to combine. So there's this very disparate set of interests that don't entirely make sense.
So it's the Band Theater Football Club?
Exactly.
The BTF.
I'm into that.
I love that. So now we're just the club.
I just wrote down a note. Wizard school attrition. Can we add to book? I'm gonna run that by Brian. They're gonna be like, no, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
I'd like to add one tiny detail. I'll just throw this out here that we have this spot we like to meet outside, which is under this magical tree that is, when you look at it, it's just every time you look at it from a different angle, it looks like a different species of tree, but specifically it's actually one of our classmates who at the end of the sophomore year, unfortunately happened to become a tree. So we choose to meet there just because it just feels supportive.
Oh my gosh.
In their memory.
Yeah. Well, no, yeah. What if they're still vaguely aware? Like the tree doesn't react quickly, but like seasonally reacts, and we realize that, and so we meet there because they're the fifth member of the club. Like,
that's exactly right.
And so I like the idea potentially that like we are also all of our rooms are near each other, but maybe like in the school, whatever houses we're in, like the as you go up, the rooms get closer to each other, so that by the time you're seniors, there's like a senior quad, regardless of what house you're in. They just kind of connects at the top of every single one. So, I would love to know like what everybody's like packing away before we hit the hallways.
Sure, I have a fiddle case with a fiddle. It says Fiddle of Moonlight. We'll see what that means later. And it's like also just some weird candy and stuff that I toss in there to eat throughout the day. Maybe there's stickers on the fiddle case, band stickers.
So you're the band part of the club.
I think so. That's my only real skill, so I hope so.
I love the idea that Tom has just opened up a hole to somewhere else, that like all of his like books and everything else, he's just like tossing them in, and he'll figure out how to open it back up later on. Like it's just like I'll figure this out later, and you know, just toss basically everything I've accumulated over the last 4 years in this hole that goes somewhere that I don't know where it is, but I just figure I can like open it back up later on.
Is there so much stuff in there that even though it's like a portable, it's not like a pocket dimension, you still have that much stuff that it's still spilling out of the sides?
Like I've never like that's how I know it's how I know it's somewhere. I know it's somewhere because it's filling up and it's almost at the top, but I don't know where it goes other than that. And at this point, I'm afraid to find out.
I think Penelope is packing up a very classic chest, but she's putting a lot of like workout gear in it, so dumbbells, a lot of like athleisure clothing that she uses in her spare time. And I think she was the football part of the club. She was like a really good linebacker on the football team when there was enough students to have a football team. Kind of sad that that's over. But yeah, so this chest probably weighs like 400 pounds, but she's just super strong and can pick it up and moves it out of her dorm room.
Thwack has a bit of a problem here because Thwack has, they've accumulated over the years just so many little interesting knickknacks that make interesting sounds. Kind of like the Thwack's room, like, it's kind of like a Foley artist's studio at this point, and just has this really disparate furniture. You know, the kind of furniture that has like lots of tiny little drawers, and just has collected that possibly from some of the rooms of some of the students who just didn't need it anymore, and is in a little bit of a hoarding situation that is going to be really hard to pack down.
So you're saying that Thwack Stackle Pack has a lot of bric-a-bracs and knickknacks?
Can someone mute Tony, please? Can we mute Tony for a little bit?
That's pretty good.
It really struggles to give themselves slack.
Were you like improv, or was it a Foley club? I realized I had to come up with what part of the club I was a part of, but what club were you a part of?
Can Thwack be the rest of the band?
Yes, absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely.
I love that.
I think I was the head of both. I was a member of both the paranormal society here at the school, like, and but also very, very oddly, whatever the fantasy. We have a veil on religion, so whatever the fantasy equivalent of for wizards of the like Fellowship of Christian Athletes, but not Christian. So the Fellowship of like pagan athletes. He was the head of that, and so felt a lot of conflict between those two things sometimes.
Excellent. So if I was writing the script of this film, I would have been like, okay, cool. And we need a bunch of extras because, you know, as we're going, as we're panning down, you know, sliding back the hallway, and y'all are coming out, like there's like all these other kids and people and doing stuff, and we would slowly time lapse age your characters a little bit, but then like the background people would disappear and we would have their horrific disappearances and random demises going on in the
One would fall off a cliff.
One would just drink from the water fountain. No. So oh, what is the name of your friend who's become a tree? What is their name?
I don't know the name, but I think their position in our club is the treasurer.
You wanted to mute me?
Oh.
That's vengeance. That was revenge against Tony.
I'm trying to write tree. Like,
Oh my god! So they were head of the finance club, like,
Oh.
and now they're just the treasurer of their club.
The Giving Tree. Let's see a name.
Chat, tell us if you have a good name.
Yeah.
We'll come back to it whenever chat has a good name. Chat, tell us the name of our fifth member.
So it is the last day of school, and you have packed up your gear as much as you have. Raph, I'm going to say that I feel attacked with the bric-a-brac because you should see my desk. I'm just kidding. But you should see my desk. I have little totems. Yes, exactly. Little totems everywhere. And so you've packed up all your stuff. You're heading out towards your unnamed tree friend, who we will meet in just a second. And you run across. I didn't name the teacher. Okay. You're heading out for your final class. The last name or the name of the final class is Considerations on the Wizarding Arts and Other Foolish Pursuits. Now, obviously, you've been studying that for many years here, but this is more a bit, and sorry, Rachel, this is too close to home. You have to present a 3-minute dissertation on what you learned in wizard school. Your instructor's name is Ginyenberg. Ginyenberg, a squat. It looks a little bit like you remember Weebles. They wobble, but they don't fall down. But it's a penguin weeble, and it has a cone-shaped nose made out of this prismatic glass that it's just almost blinding. And when you attend class with Ginyenberg, you have to wear these big goggles, kind of like this. Like you have to, like you suit up and you go to class and you're like, okay, and we're in class. Students. Excellent, wonderful. Welcome to your last day. Olive, Thwack, Penelope, Tom. I hope you have everything packed. I hope you are ready to go out into the world and do wizardly endeavors and wizardly things. The real weird thing is he doesn't have a mouth. So this is all just like coming out of that cone. Yeah, it's sort of like just like a weird, but you can hear it. He says, please regale me with your assignments and tell me what you have learned and what we have here at Red Letter instilled in you and the things that you will go out and teach the world.
By the way, the two I'm going to bring two suggestions to the group. One is Roots Barkley, and the other one is Limbly, and I think both of those are excellent, depending on whether we think this is a first name or a full name, one of the two. But Roots Barkley or Lembley are the two names. Any strong feels there?
I like Roots Barkley.
How about Roots Lembley Barkley?
Well, there we go. Bringing them all together. That's from Rollers and from Girk. By the way, if you just joined us, we're playing Academies of the Arcane. It's a Troika. Are they called supplements? Is that the best word? Is that a good word?
So we originally marketed when we did the Numinous edition, the goals were we called them chat books, which is essentially
cool.
Small little books. It's just kind of a thing that was confusing people. People were like, what's a chat book? So we spent a year explaining what chat books were. Supplements, chat books,
sure.
Expansions.
If you're familiar with chat books, it's a chat book. If you're not, it's a supplement or a setting module. If Troika has any modules, you could also win a copy of Troika or some Pogs if you type !URA. That's the letters URA and then wizard into the chat. You will get entered into a chance to win some great stuff we'll give out at the end of our session tonight.
I'll present first if no one else has any presentation ideas. My special is that if I test my luck, I can compel undead forces to listen to my fiddling. Can I fiddle to summon those spirits of our dead classmates that remain on the grounds to kind of show like we have learned to be better than them at least? All right, so it's a roll under my luck, right?
Yes.
I rolled a 3, and my luck is 9.
Boom! You summon as many or as few of your friends who are obviously the ones who are still on this plane, probably the ones who met their untimely demise here on the grounds of Red, or in the water of Red, or in the fields of Red, or the skies of Red Letter.
I like that Olive did a group project, but the was just all the dead members, all of our dead.
It's
friends.
A lot easier to be in charge of a group project when you can control and summon dead spirits, and they're the rest of your group. Yeah. I think there's a little song as they kind of tromp on, kind of chorus play style, and give their woes and tell of their failures.
And Gingenberg is wonderful. It's so good to see all of you again here together for the last time. And there's some of them floating, from like in various states of possibly missing limbs. Some of them are missing part, some of them are floating in the sky, some of them are actually like crawling up out of the dirt. One guy's all that was left was an accident. It was in it was in explosives class. It's not really explosive class, but he's just a hand. That's all he is.
Oh.
I love the idea of this like beautiful, evocative, like wonderful ceremony, and then while the professor is cheering, my presentation is just to cast Banish on or not Banish. That would be ridiculous. Oh no, actually no, I do want to do Banished Spirit, even though it is I was going to do Exorcism, but Banished Spirit is actually what I want to do. So I come up while this crescendo is happening, the music is swelling, the professor is cheering, and I just cast Banished Spirit to send everybody on their way. And I'm trying to roll under, correct? So I rolled.
Yes.
I rolled at. Is that
you rolled at? Some Troika expert out there is going to yell at me for looking this up, and I'm going to be like,
rolling under is throwing of 2d6 with the intention of scoring equal to or under a number.
Yes. Thank you.
All right.
Success. So tell me what that looks like.
I think as the they're all kind of swirling around as Olive's music kind of crescendos. They're going up, they're going down. They start kind of merging into this one central space. And then all of a sudden, I just come out with hands full of salt and this kind of blessed oil that I use, shoot it up into the air and into the midst of all of them, causing them all to light up, kind of look essentially like they're starting to explode, but in the end, it just becomes light shooting out of all of them as they dissipate into forever.
So you LeBron them to sparkles?
I LeBron them to sparkles. It's kind of a major crescendo. Essentially, like I'm the person who didn't do any of the group work and showed up at the very end and just was like, I made this also. So...
Penelope will stand up and say, I'm not going to do any fancy magic here today. I've learned that a wizard's strength doesn't come just from their spells, but can also come from their fists. And if you don't want to die, you should pay more attention to the strength, not just of your mind, but of your body.
And then do you lift a desk or something?
I actually will slam my fists together and all of my charm bracelets like clank around because they're heavier than they look. And I'm going to cast Burdened Soul. So basically, now for the next day, no one can steal or drain my soul. And if I die, I might not die right away.
So when you cast a spell,
yes.
First things you do is there should be a number. I'm trying to.
It's 3.
Chain. Okay. So you take that number off. That's how much it costs. So that comes off your stamina. So zoop, stamina's down. And then you cast it. You need to roll. What's your skill? Your base skill?
It's my base skill.
Mm-hmm.
6.
6 plus 7. So roll underneath your burden soul skill total of 7 to see if this happens.
Let's roll a 4.
Perfect.
We're doing well so far. We're proving ourselves.
Oh yes, absolutely. And check your if you're on the skill sheet, Aaron. I don't know your skill sheet, but you have the little check boxes for testing those skills on there. That's perfect because if you survive and you want to use these characters later, you can do the whole getting better thing, which we clarified in the reprint. Yes. So nobody can steal your soul for the next day.
It's a problem at this school. It happens. The other thing is so basically more mechanically, like if death takes me before the next sunrise, I may successfully test my luck to pilot my petty frame for 1d6 additional rounds.
This is some forward thinking, which might come in handy later.
You know what?
I don't know.
I only learned 2 spells in my whole time at wizard school, so
2 really good spells.
It's true.
All you have to do is make it to the end of the day.
You just have to run faster than the person behind you.
I do like that. That's what this wizard school essential ethos is. Like, you just have to survive. Like, you don't actually have to be good at spells. Just, don't die.
Perfect. Raph, what's up with Thwack?
Well, Thwack comes to and just to understand this right, so this is the last class. There's literally just the 4 of us, right? Just the 4 of us and Professor. So
the 5 of you. No, Roots is looking down upon you.
Oh, that's actually perfect. So instead of coming to the front of the class with a flourish, it becomes obvious because of the sound I generate that I'm actually I've kind of spirited myself to the top of the tree just to make a more of a grand appearance. And I'm going to use kind of all of my skills together, or all of my spells and skills. I've got this to kind of put on a show. And so I think you tell me, but I guess I have a bunch of various audio skills that all are a 1, and then there's the quiet, which is a little bit higher. So I'd be rolling down to a 7 or an 8. Probably roll down to the lowest.
So if you're casting a spell, I would do a spell first, and then you burn the stamina for that, make that roll. And this is a good one. This is let's do that. Let's go with whatever the most difficult is. Roll that one
Perfect.
first.
So I rolled under. I rolled a 3.
Perfect.
And so the room goes really quiet. And I want you to imagine, remember back when you could go to movie theaters, the Dolby Atmos kind of demo that shows up at the beginning of the movie? It goes like, whoa, like everything gets dampened down, like the kind of the trees outside, the wind, the weird little pterodactyl creatures, I imagine, just fly around shrieking. You just can't hear them anymore for a second. Everything is suppressed. And then this parade of sounds just kind of starts floating around you, and just surround sound and IMAX style. It's just like, everyone's like looking around, just like, whoa, just weird noises, like all stuff that I've collected over the years. Just leaves kind of fluttering down, just like the sound of raindrops, like right on top of your head, but it's not raining. A lightning bolt just behind your left ear, and so on. And thwack being thwack, this continues. This is like really cool, but it continues just like a little bit too long, to the point where everyone just gets okay, it's the thing again. It's all right. And it just eventually just kind of peters out as I proudly stand in my tree, just waiting for applause that probably never comes. I don't know. What do you all think? What's everyone else's vibe around this?
I think, like, Tom at this point has learned that Thwack will do this until people start applauding. So he waits like an appropriate amount of time, and then is like,
I'm clapping. Yeah, I'm into it.
Penelope doesn't clap. She doesn't clap unless she really means it.
Thwack bows way down, just in a far too elaborate fashion, just twirling all the way down.
I do like the idea that, like, the branches in the tree, regardless of breeze, though, like, do start clattering against each other in a pronounced way.
Ginnenberg, the instructor, at the end of the clap, at the end of the clapping, stands up and wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I give you all passing marks, and he snaps his fingers, and then there is some real onomatopoeia, like the heavens open up and like just like clapping. It's like 100,000 sets of hands, and you're all like, whoa. Magically appearing before you are, in your hands, your diplomas.
Oh.
And as you are looking at them, you're trying to open them, like sealed in wax, Ginnenberg says. I do, however, have one favor.
The
classic Ginnenberg screw.
Ginnenberg.
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
Or your characters are all saying this out loud, of course, right?
Yeah.
And he's like,
One day
my reputation precedes me. He says, of course, you could spend the next D66 years. You could spend the next 55 years figuring out the lock that I've placed on each of your diplomas in order to further your careers. Or you can travel to the tower in the dump.
You mean like the garbage dump?
The tower in the dump. You know the one way over there. And he points over there and looking out to the west. And you just, and you, as you look to the west, if we had smell-o-vision in our theater, they would just, somebody would press the button and it would just, wow, it would reek of wafting in garbage. I trust that you shall return before nightfall?
With what? What are we supposed to do there?
You'll know.
I like
You'll
the
know.
I like the idea that we're literally standing in a field where some of the flowers are just beautiful and intensive magical flowers. Other ones literally are painted into reality. And we zoom past all of that across a crystal lake and zoom in straight on this dump site. And then as it pulls back out, the smell is brought to our nose. I love that. I love that feel. Look at everybody else.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna sit here for 55 years and fiddle with this thing.
I look at the seal on the outside and for a minute consider just thinking into non-existence for me, but then decide, no, I like my soul a little bit more than that. So I'm not going to do that right now, but maybe if I get upset on the way, I will.
We got to open them up so that we can smoke them later.
Yeah, it's true.
There is that.
Remember that promise we made to each other on the first day of school?
we all survived.
I had forgotten.
And then, of course,
there's a lot of times where I
back.
feel like that's what got us through this. Also, Jeremy Childry has just realized what's happening. Also, too, Jared.
Good.
For anyone who's watching, Jeremy is not on Twitch right now. He is over on Facebook watching, but just realized that we are playing through an adventure that he wrote and is available on itch somewhere. And was it part of the Troika Pocket Sphere jam?
Yeah, it was a while ago. But yes.
Oh, the pamphlet jam. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is there a wizard's tower in this dump? And and we will find that out. Ginyenberg snaps his fingers, and Roots stands up out of the ground at the same time, kind of like shrinking. Oh no. And forms into the shape of a wooden Flintstones car, which miraculously is a 4-seater.
Penelope, you're driving, right? And by driving, I mean running.
Let's get in.
All right.
Hey, there's a lot of wizard classes that Penelope does not excel at. And this is something she thinks she can do.
But wooden car running was Penelope's best class.
So can we take a real quick break?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is a good little story.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna take a 5-minute break. Just of somebody else just recognized it. Josh Demansky just recognized it also over on YouTube. Hey, by the way, we are going to take a 5-minute break. We will be right back. We're playing Academies of the Arcane. It's a chat book / supplement for Troika. This is the beginning of our Troika Fest. This is our opening stream. It's just a week where we want to invite you, both the team here at +1 EXP and the team at Melsonian Arts Council, to just try something new for Troika. Design a game, put a little bit of a pocket jam together, or just, if you've never read the book, read the book. If you've read the book before and want to play a game for the first time, play a game for the first time. 3 of us are playing for the first time live on this stream right now. Also, if you're watching us on YouTube, you can type an exclamation point, then the letter U-R-A, and then wizard to get entered into a chance to win either some Troika Pogs that Aaron created, and this is zine, or you can get one of the existing either core books or other chat books for Troika. We're going to pull those out towards the end of our time together, but we're going to be back in just about 5 minutes, so we can take a little break. If you haven't got a stretch, strike a glass of water recently, go ahead and do that. Treat yourself a little bit right now. Take care of yourself, and we'll be back in just about 5 minutes. Matthias, I just saw you type in, you are a wizard over on YouTube. That won't work. You do have to be watching us on Twitch in order to get entered to win, because currently I cannot make multi-channel entries work. But feel free to hop over to ttrpg.link /TroikaFest. It'll take you right to our Twitch channel, or just keep on watching there. We will do some YouTube giveaways later on this week that are not for people who are on Twitch. All right, and we are back live again here on Plus One EXP's Roll for Content Actual Play channel, playing Academies of the Arcane. You can check it out at the link right below us, or I'll drop the link in chat here on Twitch in just 1 second. By the way, if you haven't yet, please join us over on Twitch, wherever you're watching type an exclamation point. You are a wizard for a chance to win some awesome goodies. We are playing at a wizarding school. We have just finished our final class, been given our diplomas, but they are locked. And since we all swore to smoke our diplomas on the last day of school together at the very beginning, 7 years ago, and we're the only, or not 7 years, however many years ago it was, and we're the only people left surviving from that class. We got to do it. It's what's gotten us through that promise. And so I'm going to kick things back over to Jarrett.
So then a few minutes ago, Ginyenberg, your weeble wobble penguin shaped crystal cone prism teacher with no mouth who could speak through your heads, give you your diplomas. They're locked. Snaps his fingers. Turns your friend Roots Limbs Barkley into a 4-seater Flintstone car. Penelope is, did you call it running or driving?
Oh, you're muted, Rachel.
Yeah, so I will try to get everyone to help. I don't want to do this all on my own, but let's go, Limbly.
To be clear, Thwack is going to help entirely just by helping the car make good sounds. Not with any kinetic energy whatsoever. Just with the vibes.
That's 100% what needed to happen. I love the idea that he's even opening and closing doors. As people are getting in, he's opening and closing doors.
Will you roll me a bang check for the doors?
Yes,
please.
And it's a 2, so I guess it works out.
It's a strong bang. Boom. God, that's a really great class. Props, Brian, if you're watching. The onomatopoeian.
So just for anybody out there watching, you sent us 6 or 7 classes to look at. And I loved all of them and wanted to play 3 of them, and all 3 of the ones I wanted to play ended up making it into the stream tonight. So I'm incredibly excited by what we ended up with. The onomatopoeian is just and so also I don't know what it means, but Jeremy just said Ginyenberg Dagnabbit, I just got it. And so we don't know what that means, but whoever wrote this adventure does, and now I know it's significant. And so
he's giving away secrets, that guy. So Thwack does the sound of the door. Penelope is doing the Flintstones driving. Aaron, what is Olive doing? Tony, what is Tom doing to help on this little segue out to the dump?
I'm happy to just help kick, push, run.
So the ground kind of slopes up, down, and around. The castle's moving around. You need a navigator. So I'm up on the canvas roof up top. Just kind of making sure the pathway is clear and calling moves up ahead, just so that Penelope knows where to drive and steer.
So I just imagine that's what Fox is. It's all before you've even started moving too.
Oh yeah,
it's perfect. But yes, like any good road movie, even though it's only 20 minutes to get to the dump, because this is a magical tree Flintstones car. What's in the tape deck? This is the fight. This is the fight. This is it right now. PvP. Bring it. I need initiative, please.
I need other people to go first, because otherwise mine's not funny either way, but it's going to be even less funny if I say it first.
All songs I have ever known have left my head.
Thwack has collected one of those now 43 compilation CDs as part of the collection of all random objects. That's just one of the objects as happens to pop out of the backpack right now.
We've got some classic some Pink Floyd mixed in there. We've got some classic Last School Day jams mixed in also too, right? Like you've got some Cooper in there. You've got some other stuff going on. Like I'm sure we've got some of that in the mix. And so after one of those comes on, we just hear and this is NPR, and that's Tom. Tom is listening to classic NPR. We've got some Diane Gross. We've got some Lake Woebegone. We've got a lot of different things mixed in. Anytime it's one of Tom's things, it's just classic talk radio.
I think Penelope's contribution is some so I used to live in Finland, and they have this group of musicians who are just shouting. Their music is through people shouting and yelling, and that's her kind of music. A little bit of screamo.
It's way heavier. It's heavier than jock jams. Non-magical jocks listen to this and they get into.
She has a little bit of a dark side, but she holds back.
I'm down with all that. I'm happy.
This is the best car ride ever. Nobody's fighting over the tape deck.
Has Olive recorded any of their fiddling ever?
No, I don't think so. I think my music is mostly reserved for those who have passed on to the other side. It's not really for the living. They just wouldn't get it,
We've thrown a couple dirges on the mixtape, and every time one of them comes on, we look over at Olive hopefully and just
Glad I skipped band class.
So after I did say I said 15 minutes, but time is weird in wizard school. It was long enough to make soundtrack for the movie. I'll tell you all a funny story about that at the end of the show with my old band. But anyway, and you pull up. Can we get a screech sound, Flack? Right on the outskirts of this massive garbage dump. Fence is totally fenced in, and you're seeing rolling hills of just garbage. I don't know if any of you lived in a rural area, but I did growing up, and our garbage dumps were literally mountains of garbage. They didn't quite have the whole terraforming aspect of it down. It was just here's stuff. And my brothers and I, we maybe played there. I mean, that's why I help make RPGs these days. And rising out of the middle of the dump, off in the distance, although you can see kind of a clear path heading up there, is this janky, kind of the weebly wobbly tower. And the smell is, it's overwhelming. It's just
pungent.
Tom probably isn't noticing it because Tom's got, the fragrant oils in his vest. Anybody else? Is it refreshing?
No, this is where they teleport all the peas and poops that the wizards make, right?
There's a whole section of this dump for that. By the way, for the second, Aaron's been on a stream twice, but for the second time on a stream with Aaron ever, I'm going to ask that if chat has any smells that they specifically want to toss in that we're smelling as we go through this space, you're absolutely welcome to go ahead and type in smells that we are smelling
I'm glad this is my legacy on this channel.
or things that we are walking past as we do them, which for Repugnant RPG we do also too. Whenever we did the live stream for my gross RPG, we do also. So chat, if you have trash you want us to be walking past that you think is appropriate for wizarding school, or smells you want us to be smelling, feel free to toss them in, and I will communicate them as necessary. Also, Bear wants to know if Olive's support of Ghost Dad stacked the play with some Jethro Tull and Steely Dan.
Those are good dad jams, yeah.
I have a suggestion about these smells, not for the content of the smells, but more in our world, the smells kind of mix together following the airstreams. But possibly in this magical world, there are just like really defined boundaries to the smells. So you might think that you're in like smelling the refuse from the kitchen, and then you move like an inch, and suddenly you're in like a completely different, equally horrible smell zone. So it's just like you're getting like thwacked and thwacked. It's not gradual. It's just like, oh god, what's gonna happen next? Every step becomes an adventure.
And the weirdest thing is they call that getting thwacked, and I don't know how your character feels about that, but
not good. It's just like it's a common thing that thwack gets made fun of for, but just get used to it after a while.
I would say that Penelope, so she's wearing all these like purple like charm bracelets. She takes like a deep inhale of the smells, and one of them like turns like black and like falls off. They're like these like they're basically like these chains that like hold back her like dark magic that's like in, and the smells are kind of loosening those bonds.
Damn.
We're okay.
Oh my goodness, a little bit of gamma radiation. I did also want to say that Steely Dan is one of the patron bands of Troika. We do have Jarrett is a huge Steely Dan fan, and as am I. And we actually have Steely Dan emojis on the server.
That's awesome.
Just because we need to. So big garbage dump. Walking through and getting these like minute wafts here, there, and and you're so right, Raph. It's just like, oh, and occasionally there'll be one that won't be that bad,
Like it's almost like we went from discontinued varieties of Axe body spray into the water that's left in the bath after you went to the whole Bath and Body Works collection from the 90s # cucumber watermelon. And so,
there we go. And you come to the front door of this big old janky tower. And looking up, you see that it is 6 floors tall. And like I said, there's kind of like a dog leg on it. There's what looks to be like a big slide kind of connecting certain sections of it, and piles and piles and piles of garbage. There's a 76 Volkswagen Bug, but it's missing the hood. It's painted gray, and there's like a stripe on the top of it, and a number 3, and you can't make out the other number. There's bits and pieces of what looks to be like AstroTurf, and just bags and bags and bags of trash and garbage. If anyone wants to go sifting through the treasure, or the treasure for treasure, you're more than welcome to.
Thwack is already there. Thwack is already sifting. I mean, this is a gold mine of potentially interesting objects.
I thought you were downsizing, Thwack.
That's what Thwack says every year.
So Thwack, what is Thwack's luck right
Thwack has really good luck. I rolled a 12 at the beginning.
Go ahead and test luck for me, and you don't have to burn a point. Usually, when you test luck, like in a push situation, you burn the point of luck. Roll under and then you burn it.
Just roll 2d6 and roll under.
You got it.
Oh, it's a fail. 2 6s.
Oh, which is yeah.
No.
So it won't be horrible, but let me look up the worst magic item in Academies of the Arcane.
Which I have bookmarked in advance. So anybody out there watching, anytime you roll double sixes, right? It is a failure, correct?
Mm-hmm. Well,
whatever you just got into is also covered. It smells like Amazonian piss bottles and the sun-baked fish guts mixed together.
Wow.
Good job, chat.
Do you remember the McDLT? Do you remember the McDLT? Okay,
How could I not?
The McDLT, there was 2 sides in a styrofoam container, and it was built to keep the hot side hot and the cool side cool. So you had your burger and your bottom bun patty on it, and on the other side you had the lid with the tomato and lettuce, right? Well, you find a McDLT container.
Magic.
And when you open it, there is a McDLT. But it did definitely not keep the hot side hot, nor the cold side cold. And it just, and you can handle a lot as a collector of things. This is the ancient and edible food of the gods. Mechanically, you can eat it at another time, and we'll see what happens. I'm just gonna say, like, it's got some really, really, really wonderful smells going on, like even more overpowering than the rest.
As you pull that out, you see Tom clutch the do not open Tupperware container in his pocket.
Oh.
Thwack, don't eat that. We did not live this long by eating garbage.
I hear you, Penelope, but I feel drawn to this. It feels I feel like I have to keep it. I feel like I have
but just don't eat it.
What? Can I show you something real quick? Can I see that real quick?
Sure, Tom.
Don't.
I take it and I just I creak the styrofoam hinge a little bit. Like, listen to that creak though. Like, listen to that.
Flag is admiring it, like it's got like an audio file kind of, just kind of like, yep. Jarrett, does Thwack have any idea? Is there some kind of hint that we know that this is the food of the gods, or?
Well, it's got a big M, big golden arch M on the top.
So it's obvious. It's obvious.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just checking.
Yeah, it's left over from one of my meetings back when there were people for me to meet with from my religious studies club.
There you go. So you come up to the front door of this wizard's tower. What do you want to do?
Should we ding dong dash this wizard?
Oh man, I've been ding dong dash in like 6 months.
That's the worst that could happen.
I mean, we could run away and fall into garbage and get tetanus.
Right, or mutated, one of the two. Mutant tetanus, it's the worst kind.
All right, so let's do it, right?
Fine, yeah, let's do it.
Going up and pressing the doorbell.
Yeah.
Well, you don't even need to go up.
And then running away and hiding behind a trash pile.
I can just make that happen. We can just be already hiding and just make the doorbell just happen.
Do it.
Yeah, just from a distance.
What does it sound like?
Sounds like a traditional ding dong.
And the door creaks open, and it opens in. And inside, you can see darkness.
That's my favorite Bonnie Prince.
Same.
It's a great song. Well, this is not as fun if no one comes out and shakes their fist at us.
Yeah, this is the worst ding dong ditch I've ever done.
Why is there a wizard tower in this dump?
What are we here to do at this wizard tower in this dump?
Remember when there used to be 3 wizard towers in this dump? The weird thing isn't that there's 1 now, it's that there used to be 3.
One of them got turned into condos.
That's true.
Still in the dump. Yeah.
The camera pans over there. It's just on another dune of garbage. But yeah, and they're really nice, and they're just ridiculously expensive. Like, nobody can live there. Nobody.
And they're just like a dude just like mowing this like perfectly manicured lawn that just ends at garbage.
Yeah. And it's listed as lakeside property because the dump is abutted up onto the lake. And so
we'll go ding dong dash those ding dongs when we're done here.
I am going to cast Blood Shroud, smear a small amount of demon blood on myself and become completely invisible. It says to them.
To demons.
Only to demons? Oh, well, then I'm not doing that. Never mind. I don't know it's a demon yet.
I'll walk in there. I'll light my lantern with my flask of oil and walk on in.
And it's about as big as it looks. Maybe 50 feet wide, like 10, 12 feet tall. It's not like super expensive. This isn't a huge tower. It's the one that got turned into condos was the biggest. This is kind of the smaller size one. Just more trash, more garbage. There is a ladder kind of leaning against the far wall that pops up, and you see kind of like this like hatch cut into the floor ahead of you. The floors above are wooden, and again, like it just inside it's just more garbage and trash, newspapers, boxes, bags, diapers. It's just a lot of the smells are getting more and more and more intense here. If we were playing Mothership, I'd be asking for more fear saves.
Hyper Sigil Games, you want to type in !, you are a wizard, not you are a wizard ! But we are wizards.
Maybe they were just saying.
There we go. Maybe they could just be letting us know that we are wizards. Or at least one of us is.
Black, minus the diapers, this kind of reminds me of your room.
I was gonna say.
I'm just joking.
I was gonna say it reminds me of my hoarder grandma's room, but.
Hey guys, you know how I've been dumping things into a hole and we didn't know where it was going? I'm pretty sure I recognize some of this stuff.
You do, in fact, recognize some things here and there. There's a big jar, like the big jars like at a bar, right? That always like sit on like the old timey bars, and they got like
pickled eggs.
Pickled eggs.
Yeah, except it's pickled pig's feet.
Oh yeah.
And they're dancing.
Ooh.
Inside the jar.
Is this like a gallon jar, or is this like a mason jar?
That's a big gallon jar. Yeah.
I'm taking this for the party tonight.
I know. Like I'm just thinking, like that's gonna be like some good eating.
It's a rare cocktail ingredient.
That's right.
All right, I gotta hold these pig feet, so I can't climb the ladder. Who wants to climb this ladder?
I'll climb up first. I'll take the lantern if that's all right.
Sure, or I can hold it up so you can see. Use both your hands for climbing.
That's probably a better idea. So, make our way across. I'm going to pick up one of those diapers and put it in my pocket on the way over there.
Well, that's gross. You do not do that. Don't do that.
Not while anyone. I'm doing it subtly. Settled diaper pickup.
Do you have the stealth? Or do you have subtly picking up diapers?
I did take subtly picking up diapers as one of my advanced skills.
I don't think go ahead and roll roll under skill for me.
I have 6, so no, I did not roll underneath skill. You guys know I picked up a diaper.
Yep.
You pick it up.
I caught it on video on my cell phone.
That's right.
That's right.
Just drop it.
It's
Just drop
canonical. All Troika wizards have cell phones.
Yeah.
It's canonical.
How else would they post to? No, I don't have a good one. Wizstagram? No. We'll figure it out.
As you are climbing up that ladder, you get about halfway, and you hear this snuffling behind you, in the piles of garbage around the room, and you hear this. This guy comes out, and at first you think it's like actually like the trash moving, and then you're like, it's a guy, and no, it's just a man, and he pops out. He's got a Las Vegas Raiders hat on, a jean jacket, nice pants, big belt buckle, like big DCC RPG belt buckle, and some pointy boots, like you'll wear it. It's like, hey, why are you all messing with my trash?
Oh, I didn't know it was your trash, and I tossed the diaper to him. I'm sorry.
He avoids the diaper. He's like, why are you throwing diapers at me?
Oh, it was your trash. I was just giving it back. I'm sorry.
Well, what do you did Kenyon Bird send you?
Yeah.
That's
He said it's the only way for us to unlock our diplomas.
He does that, doesn't he? He does that. Yeah, he sent me 54 years ago.
Oh, so you're only 1 year away from your diploma
1 year
unlocking.
left.
Congratulations.
I couldn't find whatever it was in this place that I was supposed to look for. Like,
Did you only get this far?
Well, yeah. Every time you try to go up that ladder, it breaks.
Did you try to leave?
Well, no. He points over, and he was like, and he looks at the door. He's like, it's not shut. And he just starts booking it for the door and gets through the door, and he's like, see you later, suckers. And boom, the door closes.
Oh.
Oh, hell.
Oh,
no. Oh, no.
I like the idea that canonically, potentially, this is the first time in 54 years that anybody has graduated from this school also, too. And so...
the ladder that you are climbing on, and I think Tom was climbing first.
Tom was climbing
the ladder.
I do actually think canonically you said as I was making my way across the room, not as I got to the ladder. And so...
Okay. Well, at least he telegraphed to you that the ladder is a bit dangerous. So what do y'all want to do?
I think Thwack uses their sneak skill to try and get up the ladder. Like, realizing now that the ladder might be precarious, it feels like the sneak skill is appropriate for this.
I like it. Roll that.
All right.
Tom, looks like you can get that diaper back if you want it.
It's just sitting there.
I gotta mentally mark it for later.
I have my cell phone ready to video you getting it a second time.
Thwack has to roll a 7 and rolls a 5. So
yeah. And as you get about halfway, you feel it start to creak, and you can see it. Like you've gone to wizard school. You can kind of see where things like start to seam, and then you just kind of like skitter around it and up. And there's a little bit of of a hatch to to flip up to go up into the floor above you.
Well, I mean, I want to keep going. I turned to the other folks. I'm like, hey, y'all, like, I think this is gonna work. And I take my staff with my other hand because I have the staff, and I just start like, precariously. I'm testing the hatch just before getting to it. I don't want to go up the ladder, prematurely. So I test the hatch, see if it opens, and
it gives a little bit. Yep.
So I'm like, thumbs up. Just kind of keep very carefully, just kind of going up, and and when I get to the hatch, what I want to do is I just want to like peer up over, just kind of like this thing. Just peer into the space that's above it.
Shag carpeting greets your eye. I mean, you're like right here, and you're seeing shag carpeting, and you're getting the smell of cigarette butts and spilled alcohol, and you can make out this like old stained brown recliner. Light filters in through a window here, so it's not completely darkened. And where like you see the side of a recliner, like you like imagine like you're laying on the ground and looking at it from a side view, right? And kind of off a little ways out from that, you see this like wooden, like it looks like a table, and then on top of that is a wooden box. But that's about what you can make out in this room from where you're at right now.
So I kind of just whisper down to the others. I'm like, hey, I think I can't tell if there's someone up here, but I think there's like a box, there's a recliner. I think pass me up that lamp, and I just want to. I'll check it out.
Can you?
We just all have to go up here, right?
Will you take these pig's feet first?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Just like lifts the pig's feet up with my staff, just hooks it up, pulls it up, moves it over onto the carpet next to the door, carefully.
Who wants to go up next?
Is there like something that you can throw down that's sturdier than the ladder?
Penelope, throw them up.
No, that's a good idea.
Throw them.
Tom, Olive, who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
So I guess I kind of like climb up to the hatch so I can like put my arms down to catch them.
I do like one of those like cheerleader lifts.
Mm-hmm.
Classic.
So your choice: strength or wrestling. Strength is better. Wrestling is funnier.
Well, let's do wrestling. So for this, I want to get. Remind me.
Mm-hmm. So you want to take your base skill, which is a 6, and then you add your
7.
wrestling on 7. So you want to roll 2d6, and you want to roll under that 7.
Okay, it's a 3.
Boom. So who was first?
Olive.
And while Olive is going up, I go and retrieve my diaper.
Damn it.
Ooh. Olive, Penelope throws you up there. Boom! You kind of roll into the room. Black, you went ahead and climbed it the rest of the way, right?
Yeah, that's right. I'm imagining that I had my arms down to like catch Olive on the way up, but Penelope threw Olive up with such strength that Olive just flies over me and just rolls directly into the room.
And a little tumble roll, and Olive finds himself face to face with this recliner, and not in the recliner, but with the recliner, and this little table sitting on the ground, and this box, and you can see a bunch of like knobs and dials on the side of it, and then some buttons, and kind of this like cutout, like a square shape, and inside the box, a single candle, and it's unlit.
We have to light it.
But we'll come right back to that.
Yeah.
Let's get let's get Penelope and Tom up this very dangerous ladder.
So I feel like in addition to being the football team, Penelope was also the wrestling team, but needed people to practice with.
Oh, yeah.
So we've got some moves underneath our belt. So I'm gonna run and kind of do a lean back into the ladder, and then spring off the ladder into an aerial to let Penelope toss me up.
Okay.
It's very practiced. Not the first time we've done this type of maneuver.
Yeah. Roll
and
again.
And roll again, and you can have a plus. So roll under 8, because I like that narration. That was good.
So I rolled a 4, so it's also successful.
Yeah. So Penelope is like Colossus throwing Wolverine. Fastball.
But now we
special.
also have to figure out how to get.
But then now I'm
Penelope
like at
up
the
here.
bottom, and I look around, and I'm like, well, how am I gonna get up?
So I have a question. How you just have the charm bracelets? You don't have actual chains?
They are stronger than they look. I've painted them like purple and pink because who wants to walk around with like gross rusted chains? People will make fun of you.
But
at
it's not
school.
like you could toss one end of the chain up.
So that is something I was thinking of doing. I was thinking of trying to like lasso something up in the room and then just climb up the rope like a ninja warrior.
Works perfectly, except for who is up there catching the chain to help pull you up.
I don't know.
I will catch the chain. Like, I think part of the maneuver is like me landing up there. This is part of our tag team routine because that's how wizard wrestling works.
Yes.
Like I landed, I grabbed the chain, I yank up.
Get over here.
Exactly. Roll dodge for me real quick, Tony. You don't have dodge, so I guess under skill.
Under skill.
I just want to inflict damage on the host. Come on.
I rolled a 5.
And what was your skill is 5?
No, my skill is 6.
Damn. So yeah, trick goes off perfectly. Boom, boom, boom. You can have dodge chain wrestling, but make up an elongated name for this wrestling move to use in the future.
I like the name. So there's an item because my character is kind of a weird holy character. I like there's an item called a thurible, which is a incenser on the end of a chain. I like the name of this move being the Thurible Toss.
Thurible Toss works yet again.
You both have like varsity letters on your wizard varsity jackets, of course.
That's right.
Yes.
On our
they're on the back of our shoes. Like you can letter in 2 sports, and they put one on the back of each shoe.
So yeah, everyone's up there on the 2nd floor and looking around, and there's some stairs heading up to the floor above you. But yeah, so there's that chair, and it's a crash pad recliner. It's got some cigarette burns in it. Like there's, like I said, there's like cigarette butts, like little airline bottles of booze all over the carpet. More trash, more garbage. Old TV guides. Does anybody watching even remember TV guides?
Yes. I feel like we have entered a dad zone, and so I would like to use my lesser spirit of my dad. Just to see if he can kind of help us out, if he vibes with this place, if he has any ideas. Lesser Spirit is one of my possessions, so I don't know. I'm happy to roll something.
What does Olive's dad's what's Olive's dad's name? I guess we'll do that.
His name's Ash, and yeah, I don't know. I initially imagined him kind of H. John Benjamin but not like cool archer H. John Benjamin, more like Coach McGurk from Home Movies, who is just like a mess of a human being, but still somehow moderately successful.
Yes.
Where you know H. John Benjamin from absolutely matters in today's day and age.
So I've started a rewatch of Archer night before last, so I love this show. I can't do a good H. John Benjamin.
We can theater of the mind it. Hold on, go ahead.
That's right. That's right. We have and he said literally the only thing he says is TV will rot your brain.
Don't light that candle. I know Thwack said light the candle. I don't think we should. I mean, can we imagine a situation where we would want our brains to be rotted? Maybe rotten brains is the key to that. I'm overthinking it.
Like we're in a dump, things are rotting here. In order to properly understand what's happening, we need our brains to rot. I think that's a good backup plan. I think it's a solid plan B, maybe plan C. No lower than J.
Right. All right. I mean, do we just try the stairs then? I pick up my jar of pig's feet.
Are there stairs?
Yeah, there's some stairs heading up to the next floor.
Thanks, Dad.
No problem.
Yeah. I'm gonna. Are any of these cigarette butts? Are any of them substantial? I'm just gonna like fish for any good.
We gotta
like
fill our
smoke,
diplomas
just
from
in case.
something. Yeah.
Yeah. They're. You could. I mean, it's like it's gross. It's wizard dump. Wizard tower and a wizard dump. I guess you should test luck.
I did not succeed when I tested luck.
There's some, but yeah,
do I need to spin a point for that one?
Yeah, they're pretty rough. What you can collect, like if you had some papers, you could roll.
Could read. Well, I'm sure. Maybe I'll find some papers later. I'll go ahead and stick them in a pocket. So, is there any way to light them potentially?
Don't we all have a?
I mean, I'll bet you all have to have.
Yes.
We have our lanterns. I'm not like.
Yeah.
We have whatever lighting mechanism is inside them. I'm just making sure.
Yeah. So what do we want to do now?
Stairs it up. Up the stairs.
And of course, the smells get worse.
Worse.
We're going up higher. I feel like they should be getting better, but they're not.
It's magic.
It's very counterintuitive.
And again, there are a couple of windows here on this the third floor, and it's the kitchen. And if you thought the TV room was bad, the kitchen is even worse. Broken dishes everywhere, cracked cracked cups, cracked plates, and they're all covered in like dried food, like the kind that even Dawn won't help you take the grease away from. Piles and piles and piles of rotten meat. And a sink, like it's just dishes stacked up everywhere. The only thing that's clean in this entire space is the stainless steel refrigerator. It's just gleaming, and you can see your faces in it, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's just shining. It's like you can see your reflection.
I want to keep my pig's feet in there.
You open the door to the fridge,
Yeah.
Food safety is very important.
Oh, and you open that and just whoa, this ooze just leaks out. Unfortunately for you, there's no room for more pork in there. There is a lot of rotten pork in there.
We found the rest.
I was gonna say I found what they did with the rest of the pig.
You sure did. It's like someone butchered it and broke it and just stuffed every single thing in there. Kidneys, the rest of the offal, like the haunches, like every single thing. Right in the middle, the head.
No, we can make room. We can make room for the feet. Pull the head out and just throw it over my shoulder.
Thwack is very keen to do some fridge organization here. I mean, this is just a logistical problem. This is totally solvable.
An ordered fridge is an ordered lab for a wizard.
We start removing all the items from the fridge in order to put them back in a more logical arrangement to make space.
And as you're pulling them out, fresh pork is appearing in their places. Now it's raw, it's uncooked, but as you pull out the tenderloin, like a fresh tenderloin appears. As you pull out some more of the feet, the fresh pig's feet appear.
Are they? I look over at Olive and I say, Olive, hand me the jar, and because the pig feet are still dancing, right, inside of the jar.
Absolutely. So
I bring those pig feet over to the other pig feet just to see if it will cause them to dance.
We're looking for foot resonance.
That's right.
Does. And
these feet are quantumly entangled.
Yeah. Yes. And the rest of the pig starts to jiggle and starts to form and move and squeeze together and stands before you on its haunches. Now it's a pig. It's been cut open, but it's pulled itself all back together.
I ask it a question. If I were to close the door of this fridge, would you be both alive and dead at the same time, pig?
And it kind of just nods its head and gives a little.
I look around at the others.
We have a pet pig now, I guess.
A new friend.
Do you think Ginyenberg just needed some pig? Is this what we were sent here to find?
Maybe it's Ginyenberg's pet pig.
Are you our new teacher?
Are you a student?
One oink for yes, two oinks for no. Do you understand that?
Wait.
I don't know if that's a yes or just random.
We need to ask some level setting questions. Are you a pig?
Wait.
Are you not
Happy.
a pig?
Wait.
Oh.
So
hey, pig, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, can we help the pig out of the fridge? Like, is it grabbable?
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
We'll pull the pig out of the fridge.
And it just falls into its pieces all over. And it lets out a plaintive oink.
But reforms inside of the fridge, or
Yes, absolutely. And if you're still holding those dancing feet there, it starts to dance again and starts to. It's just ever
This
reforming.
sucks. I wish I had rotted my brain so I didn't have to see this.
Is this a this stainless? Is it all fridge or is there a freezer also?
Just all refrigerator.
All fridge.
It's just yeah.
ice machine?
Nope.
Yes, but pork comes out.
Exactly.
God.
Can I poke around to try to find a way out of this room?
So there's some cupboards and there is a small door, and you could smell like it's open and it smells like a bathroom. Now, how you're smelling a bathroom inside a wizard's tower, inside a wizard's dump, with the dead ever reforming pig in the refrigerator is beyond the scope of my knowledge.
None of us did
but
our studies in that specific area of magic.
And then there are stairs going up to the.
I want to do one last experiment, and that is if we take the jar and take the lid off the jar.
If you guys are going to mess with my pig's feet, I want some other dumb thing to carry around. I'll be right back.
I got something for you.
I go back downstairs and I get the candle out of the TV.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the snout of the pig, and does it have eyeballs?
Absolutely.
And the eyeballs, and like put the pig jar in the fridge, move the snout and the eyeballs into the jar, close the jar back up.
You know, I thought you were weird when you were like hiding diapers away, and now you're doing what I think might be cruel and unusual pig experiments.
And I'm going to take the jar out and see if the snout and the eyeballs remain animated.
They do not.
Okay.
But the feet keep dancing.
They sure do.
And does it?
And then the eyeballs and the nose reappear in the fridge.
Yes.
Is it? I'm just wondering. I want to inspect these feet. Do they look like the feet of this pig or of some other pig?
Other pigs.
How can you tell pig feet apart, Thwack? I didn't know that you were so well versed in the biological veterinary arts.
The porcine arts.
It's a special skill that Thwack has.
Did you learn that in band?
Can you do that with any feet or just pig feet?
No, just pig feet. It was standard part of band practice. And just regale and just goes on a long tangent about a particular class of instruments that is made from pig's feet, where just to play them and to restring them and to tune them, you need to like really know your pig's feet. So it's just standard, just band practice.
Pig feet are also really good for like Foley trots. Like you'd think people would use like horse hooves, but they're like
yeah, totally.
So can we take another quick one?
Yeah. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break, and we'll be right back. We're going to play a little bit more Academies of the Arcane. By the way, I'll drop the link in here, but you can go to !KS to find the link, or you can type in ! You are a wizard to get entered into a chance to win a copy of Troika or another Troika supplement. And we're going to do a second drawing for some Troika Pogs that Aaron made, and we're going to send out to you. So with that said, we'll be back in just right about 5 minutes. And we are back playing Academies of the Arcane here on +1 EXP. But though somebody wants to do an Academies of the Arcade hack of this, I think you should do that. I think if you haven't figured out what you're doing for Troika Fest Jam yet, which is a thing we've got going over on Itch right now, which is just people making third-party content for Troika, Academies of the Arcade. Like I've done the title, you do the rest. Jarrett, go ahead and take it back.
Those are how the best hacks happen.
Yeah.
Someone says something or says something, and then someone just runs with it. So good.
Somebody was like, "What's Ready Player One?" And somebody was like, "Well, do you remember the movie Wizard from the late '80s, early '90s?" And somebody says it's kind of like that, but totally different. And then that's how Academies of the Arcade gets made.
That's right. So, third floor of this weird wizard tower. Your teacher, Kenyenberg, sent you here because he's positive he knows you're going to find the thing that you are looking for to bring back to him. He, of course, didn't tell you at all what it is. But if you find the thing and bring it back to him, he will unlock your diploma. So you don't have to spend the next 55 years trying to get, your career started. You're on the third floor. You have found this refrigerator it's a Schrodinger's pig. It's just perpetually recycling. And you found the bathroom, and it's just really, really reeky off in there. And some stairs going up to the next floor. What do y'all want to do? Oh, and the stairs going back down. If you want
I'm gonna grab some bacon because why not?
Okay.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
just want take a minute and
go ahead.
I just want to take a minute and dig through the rest of the other cupboards in here. Maybe what we're looking for is in them. Like that you go to someone's house you've never been to, and you just kind of open all their kitchen drawers to like find a fork.
Yeah. There is a little yellow slime with a couple of eyes and a mouth, and this really tiny voice. It looks up at you and it says, "Oh, hello, welcome to the kitchen. I want to show you the pictures of this vacation to Virginia Beach that we took. Yeah, it's you like my Gilbert Gottfried?
I love it.
Thank you.
The slime
I watched
talks.
a lot of USA all night. But yeah, and his masculine, and he sounds like Gilbert Gottfried, and he just and won't stop. It just keeps yap, and wants to show you like vacation photos. Obviously doesn't have hands or just eyes and a mouth.
Slowly close the drawer.
If this was a game that had XP, you would get XP for that.
No.
So
upstairs should be.
Yeah, my question was: is the bacon I took Canadian, British, or American bacon?
Ooh, roll a D3. Here, I'll roll a D3. Canadian, American, British.
What's British bacon?
It's British.
Okay, it is more like Canadian bacon. It's like it's meatier than American, so it's more like Canadian bacon, but it is more savory than Canadian bacon. So it has the texture and meatiness of Canadian bacon, but has more of the flavor and of American bacon. You don't cook it as crispy either.
Oh.
Damn, I didn't know our graduating class was such a group of pig experts.
Did you skip that class?
Penelope, do you have any pig
that's from
facts
religious
to share?
studies. So the pig slaughtering techniques of different cultures varies, and that's really where all bacon comes from, is the traditional pig slaughtering techniques of the corresponding culture. Like the prime choice, the fatty offering for the gods, like that's what you're looking for.
I'll be honest, I skipped that class too. I only really went to gym class.
It was more of a club activity. Actually, you were all there one time when I did it, and I explained this all before, but that's fine. I understand.
Did you go to American gym, British gym, or Canadian gym?
Exactly.
Oh, beautiful.
That's the trick of spirit.
Yeah, after I get some of my British bacon, I'm set to go. Aaron, you were asking an important question.
Yeah. No, I wasn't. Oh, I mean, do we just go upstairs?
Yeah.
Yes.
Fourth floor laboratory. Beakers, alembics, improvised equipment. It smells a little more unsafe here. So previously everything's been kind of like nasty, gross, rotty, poopy. It smells a little more volatile here.
It's the egg-like sulfuric aroma mixed with the earthy qualities of ozone.
A little bit, yeah.
I think Thwack immediately starts looking through all of this stuff and just almost immediately knocks a piece of glassware with something bubbling inside of it off of the table accidentally.
It's this viscous blue goo that just starts burning and bubbling and eating away at the table that it was on, and more of the garbage. There are two other things in the room aside from, like I said, a bunch of tables with all this like lab gear and stuff like this. And you all have been in wizard towers before, so this isn't anything weird. Like, it's just normal. Like, it's like usually when you go into a wizard's house, like there's like the empty room downstairs, and then there's the TV room, and then the kitchen, and then the lab, and then the other rooms upstairs. This is just normal. What's not normal? Well, what's normal is like there's a ladder, and this ladder is like bolted into the wall. Like it's obviously clearly safer than the one downstairs. What's different about this is there's that part of that slide that you saw outside is coming out of the wall. It's coming out of the wall here, and it's kind of like twisting up. You can't like quite see, but that blue goo, and it's starting to like throb a little bit, and it's starting to like eat more and cover more and more, and it's expanding it a little bit as it's growing out a little bit.
Was this goo in the vacation photos on Virginia Beach?
I was going to say, get back. It's going to want to tell us about its vacation.
This one isn't talking to you yet.
I feel compelled to poke it with my staff.
Bye staff.
No, my staff.
Yeah, you where you had a quarter staff, you've got an eighth staff now.
No.
Okay.
I kind of want to go up the slide.
I kind of want to go up the slide too.
Should we take our boots off so we get better grip? Listen, y'all are talking about pig's feet. I am concerned with my human feet. I know what they can do. I'm going to dance up this slide.
I mean, I'm wearing fancy socks. I don't know that that's going to be better for me. I don't want to take my socks off also.
Why not? You always you're supposed to take your socks off before you enter the 5th floor of a wizard's tower. You're
supposed to take your shoes off, not your socks off. You're actually not supposed to go barefoot into these things.
I'm not wearing socks. I'm getting kind of rank down there. I need to air them out.
Right, that's why. That's why you're supposed to wear socks.
And this is a big yellow slide too. Like it's like yellow plastic, right? Like,
yeah. And we're yelling at each other while this acid is slowly eating up this part of the room. It's fine. Go ahead.
All right. I'm gonna walk up this slide. I'm gonna try to walk up this slide.
Oh yeah. And you're finding yourself getting. There's room. Yeah. You don't have to you could crouch down a little bit, but it's like, no, it's like there's even like little handholds and footholds in it as you're going up.
You should climb up this slide, but don't slide down it. There's little bumps.
Like fun
Bad.
bumps?
What's fun bump? Is that what you call the diapers that you take?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they're fun bumps. Coming up, I think it's fine. I think it's safe. It's like a little clubhouse. It's a classic Wizards clubhouse attached to the 4th and 5th floor of a Wizards tower.
Because we all know that the 5th floor is the clubhouse.
It's true. 5th floor is clubhouse floor.
Let's go to the clubhouse.
So yeah, climbing, and you find yourself climbing for what seems like hours, and what seems like days. And you know, as you look behind you, who's last? Who's the very end?
I mean, me, because I've got to get my socks off also.
Okay, gotcha.
Are the rest of us just barefoot? Did we all just follow Tom Olive's lead?
It worked.
I mean, I feel like I took my shoes off. It's just like, trust each other. We made it through this so far.
So whoever was last, it like you look behind you, and you see that blue ooze. It's not coming up the slide. It's stopped at the end of the slide, but it's kind of capped the end of the slide. Also, the slide looks like it's been like it's like it goes boom. You know, earlier when we had the Dolby surround sound go boom. This is what's the Christopher Nolan movie?
Batman Begins. Batman Return of the Dark Knight.
all of the Christopher.
The Dark Knight Batmans.
Tenant.
The one with the one
Inception.
there it
Inception.
is, where the walls go.
Yeah.
When you look back down the slide, you're like, wow. And you find after several hours that you have bypassed the 5th floor, and you have arrived on the 6th floor.
Dang it, we missed the clubhouse.
We missed the clubhouse.
What a weird wizard tower.
The smell of mold and dust chokes the air. Like it's like the best old used bookstore ever. Then someone just kind of like hosed it down a little bit and then didn't dry it off completely. So it's got that good used book smell, but it's just kind of like a little bit. Oh, it smells like the Epic Illustrateds that I got in the mail today. It really does. Stacks of cardboard boxes line the entire place, and in the center of the floor is a big old circle of salt, and in the circle of salt are several candles, and inside the salt, inside the circle of salt is more salt, and you see your names written out, all 4 of you. What do you want to do?
Do we have our diplomas with us?
I'm pretty sure you did, because you jumped into roots and drove straight over.
That garbage wizard better not have stolen our car.
Oh my gosh. If he's out there gallivanting around in roots and it zooms out and he's like doing donuts in the field.
Exactly. Yeah.
With
It's
NPR
like
blasting in the background.
Like speed buggy. Rocking some Blue Oyster Cult.
I would like to evaluate what the hell is going on.
I have second sight. Isn't that like detect magic?
Yeah, and it's going off, and you're getting like, it's like spider. Your spider sense. You have little lightning bolt exclamation points behind your head.
Real quick, I pull out some snacks from my pouch, and can I eat a ration?
Absolutely.
After that
brought some, like, trail mix.
time, we all need to munch on some wizard jerky, I think.
Yeah.
You can use this salt to preserve that bacon you brought.
And you said wizard jerky. Is wizard jerky made out of wizards?
I mean,
There was one of our classmates that got turned into a cow, then died, and then dried.
And his last wish was that
you save it for special occasions.
True.
It's because he loved jerky so much.
His last wish was that whoever graduates eats him. Sorry, Rachel.
No, a quick protein shake to wash it down.
Just all protein.
Excellent.
Get those macros. I mean, I have a proposal for the group. Like, maybe this is a thing. Maybe we put our diplomas into the salt circle.
Yeah.
What's the
Yeah.
worst that could happen?
Maybe we like burn them in the candles. I don't know.
I mean, we
Smoke
could
'em.
light them on those candles and then smoke them.
So it seems like they set it up just for that.
I'll light the candles.
So
I have no next step.
I wanted to evaluate. I rolled a 3.
Okay.
What given my knowledge of spirits and salt circles and other weird stuff that I'm into, can I divine from this arrangement?
So you know that it's definitely meant to call you here, and it's definitely drawn you here, and it's such a high level and such a very well written spell and ritual spell and performed spell that you have this sneaking feeling that someone has been messing with you the entire time you've been in wizard school. And just out of the corner of your eye, you notice that those cardboard boxes and all those books, they're the same book, and they're these like little mass market paperbacks, and the name on the book, the title of the book is "Do You Think I'm Pretty? 7 Tips to Jumpstart Your Business." Now, right as you are realizing this, you hear this and the room lights up, and I'm gonna do a screen share. Jacori, sorry I'm using your wonderful art to illustrate this really awful wizard, but here we go. You hear a and this guy appears, and he goes, "Welcome.
Hello?
I'm
Hello?
glad you brought your papers. The name's
Yes.
Bergenyon.
Oh, I get it.
Do you think I'm pretty?"
Yes. I definitely am into this form. Are you the penguin? Are you our teacher too?
I have been known to inhabit that form, and then it's just like a montage, like flashback, and Bergenyon has been secretly behind everything for the entire time you've been in wizard school, and it's
we see hundreds of potential wizards falling beneath, like our friend who got turned into a cow, that was prime Bergenyon. You know, we flash back to Roots slowly arching into a tree,
and he turns as each person accidentally meets a rough demise. You see him extracting this small like little like purplish blue cloud of smoke out of people as they're dying, and putting them into copies of these paperback books, and then putting them in the boxes and then stacking them well. I hope you are ready. You are the last 4.
Is this a multi-level marketing scheme?
Damn it.
I wouldn't really call it a scheme.
What would you call it?
I call it a business plan.
So what are you selling?
call it my genius.
Can you give us like a
Elevator pitch.
demonstration?
Yeah.
Yeah, a type
Wait.
3.
You're telling me you haven't read my book? And then it flashes back to him like leaving copies of this book all over the school, everywhere.
I'm supposed to ask the other players if Jarrett's Bourguignon voice is annoying.
What? No.
I'm supposed to
Immersive.
ask the other players if we think his Bourguignon voice is annoying or not. The answer is important mechanically, apparently.
It's supposed to be like this, because this is what it sounds like when Jarrett runs it.
But because if not, Jarrett is apparently cursed if his voice is not
I'm
annoying.
cursed now.
Okay.
So were you all because you played it? Oops, forgot to tell you that part. It's right here in the byline. Bourguignon says, "See, it's all been a mass marketing scheme. Plan to begin with."
See, you said scheme.
Okay, and then we go to initiative because it's time to fight. Trick combat. Trick combat is really cool. Who would like to be the fireball?
I'll be the fireball.
Okay, so Tom's the fireball. You sure you don't want to be the pig person? Who wants to be the pig person? I think this is Olive because they carried the.
Carried those pig's feet.
I'm the one who's not the pig expert.
I feel like Raph was the. Yeah, I thought I would have picked Raph, but you know.
I'll take it. Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
I have the thinking engine. We have tiger, by fountain.
Penelope seems like a tiger.
I'll do tiger. Yeah, it sounds cool.
I'll be the other one.
And then we have you have two choices. We have you want thinking engine? Okay.
Yeah.
Easy enough. So Troika Initiative isn't like normal D20 in it, where you roll a D20 and add modifiers, and then we all go around the table. These are y'all, and we know who's who, and then I take you and I put you into the deck with the end of the round card, and I'm just going to use the whole deck because Bourguignon is like this mega super powerful wizard, right? Like. Oh wait! Whoops! Did I say that out loud? Whoopsie! And then we shuffle this all together. And then we bridge it.
And essentially, you're making a stack. So this could be used like you could put tokens in a bag. You could put dice in an order. You could take troika pogs and stack them up like these.
There we go.
EB Tilted says the advantage of a stack of small stones is that it's easier to randomize when you have a small number of tokens.
Cool. All right, and then we'll cut the deck. And bad guy. Bourguignon goes, ha 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 ha, and he casts a random spell because according to Jeremy, according to the guy who wrote this, who wrote this part of it, he has every single spell. So, fix. We'll go Raph. This is for Thwack. You are stuck like glue. Some of the trash comes up around you and clamps around your feet. Let's see. It's the bad guy again. That's no fun. Oh, maybe it is. And he casts another spell. I'm going to pick a random spell from Academies. Yeah. How about that? since we don't have these into quite layout form yet, I'm just going to point to his spell. He holds his hand aloft, and he's got those big ass claws like in the picture there, and they start to glow. Are any of you profoundly evil?
Is it Penelope?
You know, I was.
If it wasn't for that purple paint.
If it wasn't for, the charm bracelets.
And you start to feel this itching and this sense of vulnerability. The next time he hits you with an actual attack, it's going to have +1 to damage rolls. Hey, look, it's the bad guy again.
How many times is he in there?
I think he is in there like 40 times, and we are in there 12 times.
I think he's only in there like 20-ish times.
Okay.
But you all are each in there twice. But that's okay.
I guess 8 times.
He casts this illusion, and it illusion. What page? 62. I can hear everyone who like I play with regularly being like, "Jared, what are you doing?" I'd be like, "I don't know. I'm just making shit up." Of a sudden, everyone thinks that everything is calm and cool, and it's a beautiful, idyllic summer day, which is going to mean everyone's skills or whatever they do are just going to be a little bit harder to pull off of the next one. However, bacon time. Thwack, what do you want to do?
Well, Thwack has to try and distract this wizard so that the Thwack doesn't have a lot of offensive abilities, but perhaps can create a distraction, make themselves a target, so that the others can do what they have to do. So Thwack's going to use Natter to just like make sounds come from other places, like make it seem like there's other wizards than just us four who are kind of coming from around the room to come at Bourguignon.
I like this.
And gonna roll. So I have to roll 8 or under. And roll 8.
Nice. And he stops. And he stops and it falls back for a second. It's like, no. And copies of do you think I'm pretty? 7 tips to start your business. Some of these copies, they start to catch fire in the room behind you, and he shrinks just a little bit, like where he was rather large and creepy and glowing. He sort of shrinks a little bit. Tiger, Penelope.
I want to go punch him.
Yes.
Classic
Don't
wizard
think.
punch.
Don't think, just punch.
Gotcha.
Go, Penelope, go!
So all of the purple and pink chains like wrap around my hand and form this like rusted chain hand that I can use to punch with.
Love it.
And I roll a 6, which is under the 8.
You want to roll high when
You want to roll higher? I didn't.
So what did you roll on the 2d6?
6.
Plus, then you add your skill.
You add your skill.
Mm-hmm.
So add the skill, and if I have like fist fighting,
you add that.
so 8 plus 6 is
14.
14.
And he gets to roll versus.
Right.
So
I like to think we hear that Finnish music kick on, like in the background, like as the fight starts.
Just the screaming.
He rolled crap. He rolled 5 on the die. However, He's a massively powerful wizard. But for narrative purposes, boom, and as you punch him, nothing really happens to him, but more of the books burst into flames.
You know
Right?
what? Here's the thing. Most wizards don't expect to get punched in the face.
See, there we go.
It's not-
Penelope again.
Light some books on fire.
I can't light anything on fire. Kick him in the stomach.
Okay, roll versus again.
So I got an 8, which would this be like wrestling or fist fighting?
Entirely up to you.
Well, let's do fist fighting because that's an 8. No,
Okay.
wrestling's
you
a
were
7.
you were kicking him though, wrestling.
You're right. Okay, so then I have in. Now, is this one where I want to add the thing?
you can
Okay.
go high.
So I have a 15 total.
15. He's not gonna beat that. Oh, hey, guess what? He rolled 2 mushrooms, which are 1s on the fungi of our home dice. And even more of the books catch fire. Thinking engine.
I throw the lantern I've been holding onto
On
the
more-
boxes of books. Yeah.
He's starting to scream. He's like, "Ow!" Let's see, who did I? Okay, so I have attacked
Penelope and Raph, I believe.
and Flack so far. Okay, well, you spoke up, Tony. So here comes one for Tom. Here comes a spell.
Classic Ginyenberg attacking the people that speak during
Exactly.
class.
Classic.
Um,
Turns out being another wizard who just attacks people who speak.
Detention at this school really is a trial.
He reaches out to you, Tom, and touches your shoulder, and your mind is kind of like shaken up like a snow globe. You're just kind of like, oh. He's befuddled you a little bit. So all your rolls are going to be at a -1 penalty. Oh no, I dropped the cards. End of the round. Which in normal, like we're gonna narrate the rest of this because y'all are gonna win. Sorry, Jeremy. I know you're watching. Sorry, I'm gonna let them meet Berg and Jan. They're not really gonna win. They're still cursed. They just don't know it. Normally, so at the end of the round, that would be like the end of the round token, and then we would add the cards in for the combatants who are still there, reshuffle, and go about it again. Combat in Troika or initiative in Troika is super swingy, super like bam, bam, bam. Anything can happen. Anyway, conflagration. The books are burning. Berg and Jan is shrinking and freaking out. What do you all want to do?
I take my anointing oils, and I toss those all over the remaining books, causing the conflagration to kick even higher.
Nice. Aaron, what does Olive want to do?
I tell him that we don't think he's pretty.
No! And he shrinks even more because he's evil, and that's what happens with evil. And he's now back to his Ginyenberg size.
Oh.
And he looks at you all and he says, "Fine. Have your diplomas." And you hear click, 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 click as your diplomas open. I'm sure you've got them stashed. Maybe someone was carrying them in their hands. And be gone. And he snaps, and you find yourself back at the school. And Limbley is back in tree form, and all around you, you can see floating all of the students who have passed all of this time with you, who died before. they all look at you and nod as if their spirits are freed.
We light up these diplomas and smoke them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chillax by Limley.
Sweet. You won Troika.
We won
Can you
Troika. Awesome. I had a blast. We do a little thing here on +1 EXP called Reaction Roll. Reaction Roll is a live stream within a live stream. It's where we sit down with somebody after we just played a game that they created, or in this case, we're the lead editor on, and we talk about what our thoughts were about the game. Today, we are playing Troika, but we specifically played Troika with the Academies of the Arcane backgrounds and spells and some other pieces. It's live on Kickstarter right now. You can go to ttrpg.link/ Academies KS to go straight there. That's also going to be right below our faces whenever we come back, as soon as I find that scene. We were just led through Academies of the Arcane. A number of us playing Troika for the first time by Jarrett Crader. Jarrett, you were the editor on the project. Give us the elevator pitch for anybody who just joined us or is watching this later about what Academies of the Arcane is.
Academies of the Arcane is a collection of backgrounds and spells and generators for wizard schools in your Troika games. 36 backgrounds. I think we like almost 90 plus spells, 100 spells. Full color illustrations throughout, generators for making your wizard schools and your classes and your faculty and your mascot, or your crests and your uniforms and your classes and your errantries and your competitions for all your wizarding needs.
Awesome. I had an absolute blast. I'm going to share my thoughts in just 1 minute. Well, let's go around and meet some of our players and hear what they thought also. Rachel, go ahead and tell people who you are, what's the best place to find you online if you want to be found, and then what were your thoughts about Troika and the Academies of the Arcane?
Yeah, so I'm Rachel. You can find me on Twitter at rawmagicrachel. I love talking about TTRPGs with anyone on there. I loved how easy it was to, like, I've never played this game before, but like the character sheet and like starting a character was so like intuitive and easy. Like sometimes when you start a new system, creating a character can be one of the most overwhelming parts. That there's so much math, there's so many numbers, but this was not like that at all. I think you could like really just jump in and start playing.
Awesome. Do you have any questions about Troika that you want to maybe ask Jarrett?
I do. So I was thinking about like, how do you sort of advance? Like there's the getting better, which helps your skills and spells. But do the things like your stamina or your luck, do those ever increase?
So beginning stamina, like the original number, and beginning luck do not. Per rules is written in the book. Now, obviously, you can tell I was making some of the things up to go on. That's just the way I like to play all games anyway. So I kind of take a cue when I run it and kind of extenuating circumstances. If someone meets a god, or some super powerful magical being and gets, some sort of, or finds some sort of cool like exosuit or something like that they can totally have, an increase and stuff like that. But rules is written, no, you usually stamina and luck, original total, stay the same.
Awesome. Let's kick over to Aaron. Aaron, tell people who you are, what you do, where they can find you online, and what your thoughts were about Academies of the Arcane and Troika.
I'm Aaron King at Aaron MF King on Twitter. I do some occasional Troika writing. Not official, but I've written supplements for Troika. What was the next part? What I thought? I've never read a Harry Potter, so I'm happy to kind of dive in sideways. And I like that it was not just like a boring British boarding school. I think that whole genre can definitely use some weirding up, and I'm happy to see that happening. No questions, I don't think.
Also, while we're with you for just a second, go ahead and tell us a little bit about these, because we're gonna, if you have not yet, go ahead and type in !URA, the letters, and then wizard. Jarrett's gonna hold up a thing so you can know what that is. You are a wizard. We're gonna give away a copy of a Troika book, and then we're gonna give away a copy of Aaron's the Icy City Troika zine, and then some Troika Pogs also that I'll hold up the right way. Also in a second, tell us about these two things, Aaron.
Yeah, that zine contains 6 new backgrounds and rules for traveling the humpbacked sky, the different spheres that are scattered across the sort of Troika universe. So backgrounds about, you know, being a space trucker, stuff like that. And then the pogs represent the spheres, and you generate your path kind of similar to the initiative system that you just saw in action, kind of build a stack and deal them out and sail from one to the other. Yeah, it's a fun little project. I hope someone gets them and treasures them, or, you know, throws them in a drawer, gets them taken away in school, which is what happened to a lot of people's pogs, I think.
Yeah.
So
Jeremy, I had a really cool coffin-shaped pog case when I was a kid. I still remember to this day in 6th grade when pogs were hot. Jeremy Childry, the author of the adventure we did, who's been watching on Facebook, said the best thing about knowing other people are doing pogs is that whenever we can actually meet in person again, it means we can play pogs with each other.
yes.
And so Jeremy did some pogs for Gordon-Ack, their recent Mothership Kickstarter. So Raph, go ahead and tell people who you are, what you do, and what your thoughts were about Troika. If you got any questions, go ahead and toss them out for Jarrett also.
Yeah, sure thing. I'm Raph. I'm designer of a game called The Zone, which is launching in 2 weeks. And you can check it out at ttrpg.link, or find me on Twitter at Raph D'Amico. And it's a magical realist play to lose annihilation style journey where everyone except one person dies, mutates horribly, and all goes terribly wrong.
Come back on the 16th and watch us play.
Please do. And yeah, I just had such a blast. This is my first game of Troika, which I had been wanting to try for such a long time. Man, I have so many thoughts about it, but the main thing is just how awesome I thought the backgrounds did such heavy lifting for giving me a sense of the tone and what I was supposed to and what I was able to do. So for example, I have the background, the onomatopoeian, who has the ability to manipulate sounds freely. And the skills are just, they gave me a lot to work with and implied a lot in terms of personality, I felt. Like knowing that I have the skill to make everything quiet, knowing that I have the skill to like put my voice into anyone else's mouth and make them speak or make a bunch of sounds, I felt it was both really good world building and also good character building. So it just really helped me. And then just more like general Troika stuff, I just thought that I love the weirdness. I feel like you can never make stuff too weird. When you make it weirder, it almost makes more sense sometimes. And I feel like some of the greatest moments in this story were things like the pig in the fridge that just amazing and completely weird, and it's just a lot of fun. So I had a great time. And I love how I also really appreciated how the system is kind of supportive, but also it doesn't kind of smother you. I felt like the roles create a bunch of kind of fun drama. I almost wish that we'd failed more roles just so that more terrible things could have happened.
Well, I always tell people one of the greatest things about rolling real dice is you can just lie. So anytime you want to fail, you can just say, "Oh, I boxcars every time." Like, we have one player, Diana, who is a PBTA fan, but Diana loves nothing more than failing. And sometimes I wonder if Diana is lying about dice rolls, but to say that she failed. And so no, I love that also. Any questions that you had?
Yeah, I'm just kind of wondering with failure in Troika and with this, like what kind of scaffolding there is to make failure, like not just like, oh, you can do it, but to make failure interesting, like to add complication, to kind of weird things out.
So usually when I run, so there's nothing particularly in the book like a fail forward mechanism, but it is kind of exactly what you said. Just like it's there. Most of the play reports that I read and then I see are people being like, "Oh, we tried to do this and we didn't do it," and it's just like, I think a lot of that comes from the math and possibly from the math and the lower chance of success, like ish a little bit, but also I think a lot of it just comes from, like you said, the tone. Like it's okay if you screw up and you goof up, because even if you're absolutely total shit at something, it's still fun to try it. Like the stakes, at least when I see people, reporting back, when people die ridiculously or fail ridiculously, folks seem to embrace that. So yeah, like there's not really a straight up mechanism or mention of it. I think it's just one of those that's just accidentally baked in, and then it feels okay to do.
And every so often you get a mech DLT out of it, aka the food of the gods.
There is that.
Yeah, Bear on the tree says it's an awesome stream. Thanks all. I especially enjoyed googling the Mick DLT, Finland screaming music, Coach McGurk. Thanks for the trashy adventure. And so people learned a lot tonight about Troika and about the world, and that's really what that's really what it's all about. Some people learned about different types of bacon tonight. Other people learned about pig's feet. So I had an absolute blast. I people always thought I was joking that I hadn't. This is my first time playing Troika. Like, I organized an entire festival. I forced the world to play Troika so that I would feel comfortable playing Troika. But it is a game that, like, on a regular basis, I will pull down and read because I love the procedural generation. I love the item. I love the evocative language. Like, I am 100% the type of person, and it's even built into the way that the games I design, that I like to do things like pick up diapers and stick them in my pockets and figure out what I'm going to do with this diaper later, right? Like, or take the bacon out of the fridge, because who knows why that's going to matter. Like, I love items, and one of my favorite things is not just the skills in Troika, but actually like the way that it handles possessions and the unique items that each character gets is 100% my favorite. And even seeing that come into the Academies backgrounds, and that I got to like dig through a little bit. Some of them are some stuff that we've got from other things, but the concept of like, hey, there's a lot of these different things, but they're also, some of them are mechanical. They're you're poorly armored, you're modestly armored, you're whatever. Like, they have a mechanical thing they do, but they're also that thing. And some things like, scars for the Chaos Warrior are just a thing that you have, and you figure out what they matter. Like, watching small unimportant things become important is a thing that I do in any system I play. And Troika has that baked in to the way it builds the world. Like, it has it baked into the way that you discover things as you go. And I've always been so excited about it. It was great to sit down and play it, and it felt just incredibly natural. Like, it's really easy to step into. I think people are worried because there's no setting. Like, they're not going to know what to do. And today, earlier on our launch stream, Luke Gearing was like, just lean in more than you think you can. Just lean in a little bit further and just go with the thing that you want to do. And it's going to work out. It's going to be fun. Even if you don't succeed at the score, you can do it. Like, there's not going to be a problem with not being able to do it. And I love that. I want to know a little bit more about building your own academy. Give us a little bit of a peek behind the scenes in some of the academies or the Arcane stuff. You built our academy. Tell us about the roll table, some of what people can look for, about some of the different things you're going to be able to do to build out your own magical school.
Sure thing.
Unlike any other pre-established IPs or anything else like that.
No, yeah, of course. Aaron mentioned something earlier. It started with an H. Something I never heard of that. No. It's like the Trek Wars or the Wars Trek or something.
Tech War.
Yeah, something.
William Shatner's Tech War.
Yeah. Somebody out there, just open call. Somebody do a Tech War series of Tech War backgrounds for Troika for me, please, because those novels were really bad.
Shatnered Spirit. No, I don't know. I'll workshop the title for you. Don't worry.
There you go. Tony's gonna do this. And again, like this is this is for me to run this. Our wonderful junk golem Meredith Silver, she has this in layout right now, and is making all the pretty words prettier, and putting.
I'm gonna pop up some of the Kickstarter images while you're talking,
Yeah.
so that people can kind of get a sense of this. The art is absolutely gorgeous. You've been seeing it on the overlay that we've had some of it, but just to give people a sense while you're looking that up.
So to start off, you roll up a school name, and Brian has done us a wonderful thing. And there's a D66 table of school names, and in each one of those entries are 6 more school names. So it's just a ton, and these things also work great for NPC names, item names, just class names. They're just fabulous, wonderful, big old list of names. Then after that, you've got the beginning of the school title. So for ours tonight, I rolled up institution. I rolled a 24, institution, and then the continuation of the school title of the 4 humors is what I rolled up. So you get a school name, and then like what kind of school, collegium, Lyceum, Cage is one of them. That'll be interesting to see what people do. I mean, I was speaking to someone earlier, like Reformatorium. You never know.
The miscreant wizards for.
Yep, and then it's like, and then you do a breakout. That's pretty cool. And then so that we have several tables for school aesthetics. We've got the campus appearance, and that was the ivory castle upon a great war chariot, pulled at a meager rate by a chained Nephilim, right? And then we've got the interior aesthetic, vaunted halls of stone, great arched ceilings. And then I said, but in some, I've finagled a little bit. I said, sometimes you're staring up into the infinite void, right? There's a notable nearby location, which was the Fields of Flowers, right? Each more beautiful than the last. And I took that and I kind of ran with it, and I was like, ooh, yeah, Monet, let's go, Van Gogh, what I'm saying? All of this wonderful impressionist painters like. Then there is also a short table, six entries long, but relative position of notable nearby location. And that can be seen from the dormitory windows of the school. I didn't bring that one in so much, but it's a little bit that helps you geographically place this. If say you're just dropping a map down. For school uniform, we've got a D66 table, and
Oh, there you go.
Did you just mute me?
No, I didn't. Maybe Aaron King did. He was looking tricky there for a second.
Aaron's like, get out. So roll and the instructions to roll once or twice. So you can get a little bit more. One of the here, I'm just gonna pick one. 53 bicorn hats, because that's cool. Simple buckle shoes, button breeches, and patterned waistcoat. You can be weird pirate people. There's some tables for school history, recent troubles, and rumors. I did roll on those. We didn't get too far into any of those, but that's more to help, like if this wasn't a one shot, if we were doing a 2 or 3 session campaign and stuff like that, kind of give a little, or if we were doing like a full year at the college or a week at the college, helps out, gives you some points to take. Rumors tables are always the best in my thing. Like if I had a book of just rumors tables, somebody write this for me.
I'll let you know. So he is #1 downloaded project on the Troika Fest Jam right now. Philip Reed does regular rumors, secrets, and other projects in PDF form that are just like absolutely phenomenal, and has done a bundled version at some point also too. But they're excellent. Just
nice.
Rumor after rumor after rumor.
Love those. And then we have the grand tradition of houses. I didn't lean into this too much because I didn't want to take away from our our wonderful houses that were generated up.
Which I'm gonna ask you right now on stream. So there's 4 houses on the Kickstarter. People go over there right now. They can check it out. Right, we've got people have different feels about the different houses. I am Solid House Dream Cleaver. I'll just put that out there. You can agree or disagree. What house is resonating with you the most?
With me?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
You didn't take the quiz on the.
No, I mean, I'm just gonna put it out there, and everyone can hate me on it. But Rector Worm, I just love it. I love that. I love the elephant. Like I love it. I love it. It's so good. I think Rector Worm's gonna win, and I'm not making it win, but I think it might win.
But I am paying people to vote for it.
What?
No, I'd actually say we'll have a polished review coming up soon also too. But before we hop off, I'm gonna hit winner on our competition a couple times. Before I do that, I've got a couple more things I'm going to say. So if you haven't typed in, if you've already done it, you don't have to do it again. You don't get extra entries. You're also welcome to do it. ! You are the letters and then wizard. You are a wizard into the chat, and you will get entered into a chance to win that. We're going to close that out in just 1 second. Before we do that, I want to tell you about a couple things that we have coming up, if I can figure out how to scroll back and forth on a few different things. Tomorrow, I am sitting down and talking with, theoretically at 3 o'clock, though I just found out one of my sons has to go to a doctor's appointment at 3 o'clock, and my wife may not be able to take him, so we may be rescheduling that. But right now, the plan is 3 o'clock. If not, I'll reconvene with Dan. We're going to sit down and talk about what it was like designing Troika, what questions Troika was answering in design, the iterative process. Today, when we were on our launch stream, Dan brought up the personal realities of how you write Troika backgrounds and how you make things. It's about specificity, other stuff like that. If you're thinking about designing something for Troika, want to know more about the Troika system, that's going to be tomorrow at 3 o'clock or at a date that we will reset, but it should be right here. On Wednesday, we are going to be playing So You've Been Thrown Down a Well, which is by Madeline Ember, the team over at Ember and Ash. I am incredibly excited about this game. It's been a resource that I've loved for a long time. We have Fiona, who is Jarrett's partner in crime, is going to be running that for us. So come back, check that out. Madeline Ember is going to be playing with us also too. So they get to actually sit down and play their game that they designed. And we've got a couple other great people who are jumping in with us on that, but it's a semi-Greek feeling. You have done something horrible that has caused you to need to be thrown down a well as a consequence, and you get thrown down that well with some other people who have done equally horrible things. You can roll to figure out what all those things are, and then you go through the process of dealing with the fact that you've been thrown down a well. It's a really, really complex process. That we're going to be excited to explore. So that is on Wednesday that we are going to be doing that. And then on Sunday, I've never had to pronounce David's last name in my life out loud. So I'm going to lean on Jarrett. Jarrett, how do I pronounce David's last name?
Damn it, you were supposed to do it. I'm sorry, David. Sherdewan.
Sherdewan is what I would have gone. So we can both, I'll be in it with you, right? So, blood feud here for both of us if he doesn't. David Sherdewan, who has done a phenomenal job over at Technical Grimoire, is done some really great things as far as a character generator, which has some Academies of the Arcane backgrounds baked into it right now. The rulebook, a turn tracker. So if you were confused about the stack and other things, some great resources for designing or playing in Troika that you should absolutely make use of this week. And we're going to be playing our closeout stream for the week with David on Sunday. We've got a whole bunch of other community conversations and other stuff we are doing in between, but that's just some of the stuff we've got coming up this week on Troika Fest. If you haven't gone to Troika Fest Jam yet, check that out. Join the Discord, ttrpg.link/TF Discord. All that stuff can be found over on our channel and a whole lot of places. Check out @+1EXP and @Melsonian Arts on Twitter for a lot of the details. But we would love to have you join it. We also have open games happening on the days where we don't have other things with amazing GMs. We've had a lot of them even here watching tonight. Richard Ruane, We've got Nick from Monkey's Paw Game who's running tomorrow night. Anyone can join. If you've never played before, they're all going to be super beginner friendly, and a lot of other people are just hopping in and running games. All of that's being coordinated through the Discord over on the Paddle, who we've partnered with to make this event happen, and to help organize some of the community space. That's ttrpg.link/ TF Discord is the best place to find that. Or if you type in !Discord, you're going to get a link that'll take you straight there. With that said, I'm going to close the giveaway, and we are going to pick one winner. The person does need to be on stream, so if Day of the Circus, if you were on stream, let me know. I'm going to go ahead and pick a second one for the Pogs for this second one, and that is... Hey, Day of the Circus, go ahead and hit me a whisper with your shipping address, and we will get that book out to you. And then we've got Dozer72. If you are live right now, go ahead and give us a message in the chat so we know you are. Otherwise, I'm going to pick somebody else to... I'm sending these ones out. You sent me extras to send out, right? Is that correct, Aaron? Cool. I'll send these out to you sometime this week. We're going to give Dozer one more chance before I pick somebody else to speak up, because we've got a little bit of a delay. All right, I'm picking somebody else. Dozer, you can get a consolation prize if you see me, if you see this, within the next 5 minutes. Oh, no, close. That's not what I wanted. Oh, wait, no. Dozer did it just in time. Just in time. Dozer, hit me up. Don't type you or wizard anybody. Close giveaway. Y'all whisper me your contact information. We'll get stuff taken care of and sent out to you ASAP. But we're going to have giveaways for most of the week also. Let's loop around real quick one more time. Raphael, where can people find you if they want to find you?
Yeah, Raph D'Amico and Twitter and all of the other socials and things. Awesome.
Aaron, where can people find you if they want to find you?
Aaron MF King on Twitter.
Yeah, you are. And Rachel, where can people find you if they want to find you?
You can find me on Twitter at rawmagicrachel.
Awesome. And then, Jarrett, what's the best place to find information about you, or should they just call it into the night sky if they're looking for you?
I'm on Discord, but I'm totally approachable on Discord. I don't do socials just because I'm one, for keeping my headspace good. Two, I work on a lot of stuff and a lot of projects. As in addition to working Melsonia. I'm the editor-in-chief on the Mothership line and the projects manager at Exalted Funeral Press. So I'm super busy. If you wanted to approach me professionally, projects at Exalted Funeral, or find me on Discord. I'm there. I'm in the Melsonia server somewhere. So I'll answer questions. I like helping people.
And you are the glue that holds the TTRPG scene together in a lot of ways, but that just no one knows about. There are a number of editors for Moonrat also too, so that you work with a ton of great people. So even if your slot is full, you're usually able to recommend somebody who might be able to help with the project. Correct?
100%. Yep. And And I know a bunch of layout folks, editing folks, design folks, artists, and stuff like that. And my secret goal is at some point, if I ever retire, is everybody else has made all this cool shit so that I don't ever have to read or run. I can just pick up a book a day and run something cool every day until I die. You know what I mean? That's a goal. People are like, no, but you're never going to stop making. I was like, yeah, whatever. I'll still help make stuff, but that's a reasonable goal, right?
Yes.
If I worked for 15 more years, if I hit 60, and then maybe I only live a week after 60, but at least there's at least 7 cool things to run, right? There's a lot more than that.
I love it. We're so excited to have you. Jarrett was instrumental in giving me the early encouragement to say, let's make Troika Fest happen, and making introductions with the staff at Melsonian to make this all come together. He and Jared Sinclair have been absolutely phenomenal collaborators in and putting all this together, along with the entire team at Melsonian and our team at +1EXP. Our hope this week is that you play Troika for the first time, read Troika for the first time, design in Troika for the first time, share it, just watch and then engaging in some way with Troika in a way that you haven't before. I'm so excited Rachel and Raph and I were able to do that tonight on the stream, and we'll look forward to it also. Day of the Circus, yeah, you should be able to click message to me at the top or click on my profile. You can also hit me up at +1EXP on Facebook, Twitter, whatever makes the most sense for you with that same information. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to all the great things we've got coming up. There are plenty of spaces open still for games tomorrow and the next couple days over on the Discord. If you need help navigating those, please let me know. But until next time, we're all just going to wave at the screen until we go offline.